in Split 2 of C. I have absolutely loved being a part of this competition. You know, we've been involved in Southeast Asia and just Asia in general for quite some time. We've been privileged to do Ascensions. We've been privileged enough to fly for LCQ a couple of years ago to Dublin. It's our home, and we bring this entertainment to you again on Soup Live. Sharper up against NAOS. Who's got this one?
I don't know, man. I just want good Valorant at the end of the day. And on a map like Fracture, it certainly changes your approach. Right now, it's going to be the arcade and duel to come on out. And, well, Raids. Raids the name of the game.
Oh, indeed. A little bit of a different approach. Sam gets taken. PTC and Xavi, though, able to find a couple of their own. So the advantage will go the way of NAOS for the time being. Lowers.
Offside crunch.
Yeah. Big turn. Really big turn. PTC now left alone. But he's clean with it. The Vice of PTC will close out the round for NAOS in the 1v2.
Yeah, it's a good north side crunch to catch Sharper off guard. You know, LBY able to stick through that and find the kill there. Kadoom would have needed one and it could have been all kills across the board, but PTC good with that. Ghost there at the end. No plant, of course, so maybe no force up completely for the side of Sharper. Map like Fracture, that does incentivize these defensive side teams when they're there to really be pushing something.
There.
Chill. Good to see that we've already got some laughs.
Got to be the attitude you take, right? Nice and early on.
Be careful though. Don't give up too much here as NAOS.
Bye-bye.
These are the rounds again. Then they kind of should just play themselves, right? Especially when you got Fracture and how sparse it is around. Get some orbs on Sharper's side if you possibly can. If you stretch anywhere deep for NAOS, you can grab the orbs yourself as well. Pick up through Dish that they've got control of now.
Silence. Just creeping through the map. Seeing if they can get any semblance of a recovery here.
It's also like these are the sort of rounds that you kind of just feel like Sharper just go, right? Just go and die. Probably not going to win it. But you always see the teams just play on the side of, yeah, we could probably win this. Like
30
we're
seconds
gonna
left.
go and try and win it. It's not like Abyss where we're just gonna all jump off the side of the map immediately.
Just burning it all out, not wanting to give any more cashola over. Just trying to find that plant. They actually might be afforded with it. I don't really know if it's worth fighting this fight. Just wait for all five to join the fray. Rotations are coming around now. Probably want to leave Zan all on his own. Just keep him alive towards the next round. Just going to see if they can filter anything out here. Wait for the salvos to repop. That's one. Moja takes down LBY. And Seraphop also to go down. So inside the Sky Spook will be the last member in QQ God. And that's 5 alive for NAOS. Very clean here. 3 Bulldogs, a Guardian to take on through. That's going to be a happy little bonus for sure.
Yeah, you'd expect so. Wouldn't be surprised if Zan's going to be purchasing something up to be a little bit more engaged with as well. See at least that the plant was got for Sharper. Opens up a little bit more in towards this next round, and then it's anyone's guess on when you want to start things off towards A lobby. Of course, you can see the stealth drone go on in if you want to play normally, and then try and get Kadoom either through the door to Sands, or if you want to go in through towards the normal main side. But it looks like we're going to have a bit of a contest at the spawn side of the map, through tree, through lobby.
Big fight already, ready to come through. About to be that barrage of information. LBY able to find one, but there it all is. It's just complete decimation of the offense of NAOS. Obviously, they take a risk here. PTC able to get a couple, but the rest of his team has completely gone away. And it will be a recovery of the Phantom, but I don't really think there's any chance back in this round at all. So they are just going to hightail it out of there and just settle for as long as possible.
See if PTC can get any damage here. Double up on the back of Gen. Not playing the default either. That makes it a little bit more nuanced on how PTC is going to in for this retake, if at all.
Nothing to do. So just buy out the time. Let it all happen. Good start here for NAOS, but happy response from Sharper. Exactly what you need to see. Nice and early. 3 alive, holding onto those weapons. But PTC's position there, surviving with the Phantom, definitely is going to give some additional juice to the regress from NAOS here into round number 4.
I need a weapon.
Yeah, a bit of an over push from Zan as well down the tree, right? You saw the flash that completely blinded 2 of the members from Sharper, but Zan just not able to find that kill, unfortunately. Neither were the guys out through the lobby. So, a bit unfortunate for them, noticing that they all technically did individually peek on NAOS's side, even if the utility was going on down. They're just not able to really wrangle the bullets there. Big gun rounds now from both sides. Guardian in for Sharpie 8K, but the rest of the server, Vandals, Phantoms.
It's all the Doctor needs. But again, it's a slow approach, you know, tempered. They're basically just sitting back in spawn to see if any aggression comes through from now, similarly to what was thrown at them the previous round. The timer does tick down. Yeah, pull out the salvos.
Try to draw out a lot of the util, really. Make it a bit easier for yourselves when you go to try and accumulate knowledge elsewhere and also stave off what might be happening around this B tree side of things. Might as well, Mitch. PDC has picked up the Steel Garden.
50 seconds left. They do seem to be keeping their eye over towards this site of B. But again, you know, the amount of control that NAOS have been able to establish while Sharper have just sat waiting. They are now finally starting to clear out A main, but again, it is the old bait and switch. The relay bolt goes on through, maybe bounces a little bit too far, and as the salvos will force Moja away again. They are rotating around now, but Komodo, they're running out of time. 20 seconds to try and clear out all this space as they move through sands now. Progressing straight on towards the side. Shavi might be able to find something here. The Rolling Thunder's going to catch absolutely no one. And I think it could be the old Classico 5-on-5 retake here. They've invested a hell of a lot of utility to get here, and still they're having to buy time. They have to play it open here. Mate, the salvos might even catch him. QQ God will go down, but the spike does get into position, already in towards the site. This is just crazy status right now, Komodo. Steel Garden gets thrown out by PTC, trying to get the catch, trying to get the info. And the last member will be Syrupop sitting inside main. The salvos will be utilized, will be able to give them some additional time. Special delivery goes through. Syrupop does connect. Maybe there's something in this Komodo. 1 versus 3. It's an attempt, but Valden and Xavi get the job done. Great one tap with the Guardian, and now live to tell another tale in amongst the chaos. 3-1.
I didn't quite focus in on it, but PTC did die to the salvos at the end there. I think Valden's special delivery got his teammate, and PTC was in the salvo.
Pain.
I think that's what happened at the end there. Pain, if so. The timing, though, you know, plant still goes down. It was good recognition actually of NAOS's side. Getting the aftershock down from Xavier Cage so they can't plant for main, right? Having to plant in the side of site itself makes it a little bit more difficult to protect from main, so good timing on that from NAOS. Now you go in towards a new round where it's not the greatest weaponry across the whole board of Sharper. You've got a Sheriff in there from QQ God, but he's got an orbital strike, right? Definitely got some value in this round still. Lurk down.
Still a 4-on-4, so recoverable.
Yeah, if you grab an orb as well as Seraphop, you do get the Armageddon.
Kadoom 2 away from the overdrive. Important ultimate in the orbital strike, so winnable despite being a little bit weaker. There's the orbital strike to try and clear. Kadoom's going to get PTC in the process, but Moja's positioning very, very sneaky, sitting around the side of the Sky Smoke. Nicely done. Seraphop will take down Savvy. And now as QQ God creeps into position as well, they're going to pop the Armageddon. Valden will just wait patiently for that one to go out. He gets into position, does find the shot onto QQ God. All on the Seraphop. It is going to be Teho on Teho. Who can aim better? It's Valden. And that is going to be NAOS collecting an important round there. 1-on-1. Geez, a little bit dicey, but the 4-1 lead here, and hopefully doing a little bit of resetting to the economy of Sharper as well, just adding further challenges.
I mean, it is important that none of those Teihos bring out any utility there. You'll see time and time again somebody bringing out util and you do just get caught from it, right? So guns up, not really working, unfortunately for Sharper there. A lot of the trades, it's kind of waiting to see the timing on the incendio that might come down into the tree choke point. Smoke, right? But it actually didn't happen there. So really in a couple of these angles as NAOS in how Sharper might be wanting to get back in towards the site in those situations. They are a little bit lesser equipped coming into this new round. So you should see this one collected by NAOS, who will group up together. Those trades where possible. Because if you don't have any buddies, you can't trade. And that's what's just happened to PDC.
Not very good to be losing your Sentinel this early in the round. And now as they've obviously got some information, they have to rotate a hell of a long way around. White does get caught. Armageddon might find the timing, but no, it does go in just a little tiny bit too late. And now it is going to be the overdrive of Kadoom to see what he can find with it, but it is running out of time slowly. Now just waiting on the extra time. The flashpoint will give them a little bit more, but now they are going to entry in. Zan trying to clear. He's taken down by Kadoom. That's a big pick. LBY, another 2. Great sharp shots here with the Sheriff. Zavi sitting there all alone, wondering what has happened to the rest of his team. And he'll just have to sit there and maybe play an exit, but I don't even think he's going to get the opportunity. He has to hightail it out of there. Might get one for his troubles onto QQ. God, no, not even. Great round there from Sharper. 5 alive. What a recovery.
Wall of thrifty to come through from Sharper, and they all pill for the rifles as well. 5 upgrades there. Kind of ridiculous, and the problem for NAOS when PTC goes aggressive to Dish and the rest of his team aren't there to trade, right? If you're playing the 1-4 as a Sentinel, you generally don't want to see them take the risk, and I get the idea, right? Device is a Sentinel that has a little bit of initiative ability in that Arc Rose, but you've got to flash both of them in that situation, and you just don't. It makes it really awkward. You take a knee as NAOS right now, down onto these pistols. So they got the full buy in the next round.
There.
Super important,
Those are the sort of situations that just really shouldn't happen.
Yeah,
right?
definitely. Just sitting in this round and like kind of stewing in it, right? You know, you sit there and go, geez, from that little overstep, that little additional mistake, we give up this round and we have to save because of it.
Yeah. That's a little bit of a group again for NAOS. Similar strategy in a different position. PDC by himself, the rest of the team all together. We can sort of say the same for Sharper. All collected together, slowly, methodically, dropping in towards this A side.
Are they going to get in? Or will they be denied? All trapped in Dish now. The utilities will start to go in. Salvos make it awkward. Doom does flush out Zan. They've invested a fair bit of utility here. Hang on. Moja gets 1 and 2. Wow, this is a big play. How has Sharper done this? This is just all falling apart. Moja, the hero, on the Brimstone, gets 3 out of nowhere. Left. And now it's Seraphov to try and pick up the pieces for the rest of the team. They're on the line. Moja, what a hero. 4K from the big Brim. And that man is smiling all the way to the bank.
It's not a flawless one back from NAOS, but that was also an eco from them to thrifty back, right? They're going to be happy with the result regardless. Moja with that classic, that's the free gun. Mitch, the classic's getting the job done yet again.
Free weapon.
Not phased too hard, right? Yes. No coach's intervention needed, it would feel. Can't be missing those shots.
Ammunition.
Back to it. Really kind of telling, right? NAOS find that super strong round, and now they're licking their wounds again in the 2-on-4. Gonna have to rely on Moja, but this time obviously he doesn't have the orbital strike to try and make it work.
Last player
will
standing.
give a little bit of space, and as Niffy swings on through, taking down Mojo, there is just no chance into this round, and it continues to go back and forth, doesn't it? Now still hold on to the lead, but how's their economy going to be looking? It's not broken. They've definitely got a buy, but it's been chipped at.
Yeah. No ultimates to be able to rely upon either this time from NAOS to try and swing back into it, so they're going to take a timeout for themselves, have a little bit of an idea and discussion. I do still believe it's Coach IMix that is going to be, or Amix that's going to be for them, but I don't believe that Sharper have a coach actually, so it's just going to be within the team to kind of have a discussion between themselves. Unless I'm missing something. Cheney might be the coach for Sharper.
See a team with an org. You know, it's nice to see that investment, right? You know, we're from the OS pit, unfortunately, where there's not a hell of a lot of financial investment going into the space, and it's just so nice to come into competition like this and see these teams that are all kind of getting together and playing that competitive, you know, as best as they can. So many donning their jerseys, all in the little, you know, little boot camps or their studios, whatever you want to see it as. But it's just such a beautiful thing, I reckon, seeing the regions of Asia investing so heavily into this esport that is Valorant.
Is good.
Hey,
If Sharper are going to be able to knock on the door of NAOS now.
I think they might have a chance. Once again, it is quite separated. The lean is off of B. But this time they're not overstepping. Even Zan going up in towards position alongside Xavi. And now, Zerafop getting some information. His stealth drone will be destroyed. Kiki God in a little bit of an awkward position, but Mojo forces his way through. Valden does get the frag and the second, picking up the Phantom. Uh-oh, it's going to get really, really spicy, but Niffy does make quick work of him. So still a 3-on-2. Make that actually, no, a trade back. All left onto PTC.
Good cage.
It is a perfect cage. Now the additional space,
Spike
trying to
planted.
come back in. They should have the line. They need to swing together. It's awkward. Oh, no. PTC in the clutch situation. Niffy just needs one shot to connect, but it's not going to happen. Now it's closed. PTC is the hero once more. The Thai export into the Philippines, and the thumbs down is necessary. Nicely done from now. 6 on the board now. And yeah, I just still cannot work out who has a stranglehold on this game, despite the round separation.
Ironic.
None of them have a stranglehold on this one right now, because it's not clean. These rounds are not clean. Like, Mojo's just pushing through the smoke with no team assistance there. It's a bit of a miracle that PDC was able to kind of just take those duels at the end there, you know, isolate the 2 1v1s, because no one on the Sharper team, they didn't decide to call for the, you know, 3-2-1 peak together, right? PDC was kind of given both of those duels and while still dinked up, able to weather it through. Nicely done. NAOS will at least tie up at half time here. They definitely want more, and Sand probably lucky he got flashed there, to be honest. I won't lie, because they've been pushing Mitch and it's not been working.
No, absolutely not. You know, they keep having to play these rounds from behind. They keep having to clutch it out. And it's just not really making a hell of a lot of sense, is it? It's like the definition of insanity, trying the same thing over and over, losing the opening picks and then having to try clutch it out from the flank. And this one is really, really challenging. I mean, they're on the right side, but obviously there's already that information gathered. There's so many members here. The salvos are going to make it really awkward, but Zan able to actually split the wicket somehow. That's a nice play, but I don't think they're overly keen on trying to go for it any further. So Zan's just going to live on. They're going to take the weapons away, and now once again, they're just going to have to sit back, get put in the naughty corner, try save their weapons, and think about what they've done.
Pushing together as the full team, right? You would generally see a breach fault line, and you'd even want to see like PDC get an Arcro stun up, flash up for them as well, right? Zan, see a good relay bolt, and them actually coordinate for the plays. You would have salvos pushed a little bit deeper to keep them in the open. Really the plan that NAOS came out with, unfortunately, and they do pay the price there, so I have to go for a save to have enough carried over into round number 11. Be able to potentially do something here. They will all be able to get the buys up, and We do have a round coming here that does have a lot of these ultimates at play. So whether or not you want to use them as NAOS to stave off any aggressions, or you want to hold them for the retakes, you know, and as Sharper, and try and use them to get into the site, or feeling confident enough that if you win these opening duels that NAOS have been challenging you for, that you do use them for the post.
A little bit more temper this time, right? Waiting for the patience. Throwing their utility out early towards the site of B. The PTC just waiting ever so patiently. Happy to call back around to the team, but they are in towards Dish now. And Xavi Zan able to find the openers there. Niffy does get the trade back onto Moja on the opposing side of the map. Good opening, but now he's stuck alone in Sands all by himself. Cruising around now. 4 versus 3. Still a fair hefty bit of separation. They're going to be cruising back their way towards the dish. Again with 30 seconds.
30 seconds left.
It's just going to be on to Niffy to see what he can do here. Just backing away slowly now. The utility starts to come in. The Armageddon going to be forcing Zan off of the site. But still, Sharper cannot get their way in. Valded will deny Niffy. Now with the investment into the Steel Garden, it is going to give a little bit of extra time. Sirapop gets one back, and in the 2v3, it's just going to be a little bit too awkward to overwhelm. A 3v1 situation, and yes, Sirapop really just has to hope to go down here. PTC will close the round 7 for NAOS. And unfortunately for Komodo, I believe a disconnect of the music studio internet. So, Soup, you've got me solo for a little bit. I hope that's absolutely okay. There will be a little bit of silence. Unfortunately, I cannot delve into the depths of the analytical side of things. We'll have my ears for a little bit longer.
Oh, this is a nice spot.
So not a horrible result to be in here.
We're back. Sorry, everyone. Good internet problems.
We recover quickly. That's all that matters. But look, off the back of that, Sharper's already in towards the site. So another position where it's going to have to be the 5-on-5 retake unless they can use that utility to just buy some additional time. Armageddon goes in once more. Salvos as well to just stem the bleeding. Very, very patient there from Sharper too. Nicely found, nicely played. No spike to get planted just yet. Will be found now. LBY does have the Rolling Thunder, but how quickly is he going to rip it?
I think more importantly, how quickly can Xavi get in to be able to utilize his extremity duel? Important.
There it is. PTC gets 2 though off the back of it, and now it's going to make it a little bit awkward for Zan. Oh, it's awkward. Kadoom now has to try go big. PTC with 3, but now LB. Oh my god, he does well. Sirapop last alone. Narrowly gets the headshot, missed, and Moja is going to try go deep, but he wasn't aware. He didn't know how deep that orbital strike needed to be, and Sirapop will be able to clutch out the round. It's back and forth. It's cat and mouse. It's tit for tat, and Sharper will end up in the half with 5.
Yeah, just didn't realize where the reposition was behind the box, unfortunately. I'm looking at what Zan was doing there. I think he thought he had the slide available and wasn't able to do that to get the quick pickup of the gun. Great from Sirapop.
Eventually that they might find themselves in. They've had some good moments, but they keep losing the opening picks here, and now they do use the salvos to force that pesky member of Sirapop away from drop. They might have an opportunity to try and take this site of A.
A pick of NAOS, remember, so you would expect them to have some good things on the attacking side. You really only do have the tape of the NAOS versus Alter Ego game where they managed to find 5 rounds on attack, but a different look because of Sultan and Patman. You've got Moja moving from the Raze onto the Brimstone here, for example. So big difference in the looks. And some big quiet affairs in the very beginning of this round as well. You've got dish controllers now. You've got PDC lurking up to see what he can spot. The other 2 members going to be going up into the A lobby side of things, where you've got still majority of the Sharper force at the A site. Not convinced that it's not going to go, or that it might go to B or not. They'll stay here and look pretty for now, Mitch.
Yeah. Again, it has really been a slow sort of approach and a very all-out offense on towards these sites at times. And now here it is. Kadoom, Seraphop getting the opening for Sharper. I was able to trade one out. Seraphop doing the exact same 3-on-2 advantage, going heavily for Sharper. PTC to try and clutch it out again. He's got enough time. He's picked up the spike. Maybe. It's 1-on-3 on the cards.
Not another,
We'll be able
right?
to get that planted. Yeah, Komodo, he's looking to do it again, but the fact that he has to, right? He should not need to find himself into this position. Now he gets the info. He's got no shield. Tapping away with the ghost. 9 bullets in the chamber. Plenty. Even with the Arcros to just keep him entertained. Throws the cam out, trying to get the catch, but this should be PTC. He can sit and hold and bait, but he's tagged up. And now as that spy cam is going to make it awkward, it means that Niffy's running on in. PTC has to connect with the bullet Komodo, but he's taken. And Niffy will be able to clutch that one out. PTC put in a position again he should not need to find his way out of. But what does that mean? It means Sharper finds 6, and they should very well tie this scoreline into the next round.
Yeah, PTC just can't quite find the headshot on that last one there on a Niffy, can he? You know, catches the other 2 players essentially when they're both going for a bit of a reload. And at the end there, he is just missing out on the shots. There's a lot of the body that is shown from Niffy, but he's just not able to find it. Again, I'm looking at how all these duels are coming out from the NAOS guys, and they pretty much all individually ran out one by one. There was no quick trades that was really able to be solidified there. You gotta keep them ones in check. This attacking side as well, you need to see something big from your duelist in Sand. Starts off with 1, which is good.
Really is that method, right? Valden getting another QQ God looking good, but Zan somehow finds 3. I was only just about to say how he was having a pretty quiet map. But 3 here is pretty nuclear. Moja picking up the Bulldog will be swapped over to Zan. They will get that plant, and if he's only got the Judge to trying to find his way back.
Mid-range gun though, could actually do some big things, but swaps to the Guardian instead.
1 enemy remaining. Go, go, go!
Nicely done, yeah.
Big rounds
That's
from
just
Zan.
crazy,
I was
isn't
gonna
it, from
say,
Zan?
right? Defensive side, getting 5 kills. Need to see him really be something different on this attacking side. He's just afforded, you know, the opening duel, right? His teammates making sure that they're stunning up Seraphop there, and then they do get a little bit of a reset. He's still going into the site. He's able to catch the opponents on Sharper when they're looking towards Sands. Really nicely done from him to be able to, you know, pilfer away the second round, right? Not able to double down there, Sharper.
So just looking back into the Twitter sphere archives, and yeah, Sultan stepped away to focus on his health, so the permanent step away.
Had
looks like, so.
I think it was a wrist injury in the beginning. Memory.
Yep, makes sense.
Right there.
Probably need to see more Kazakh players. You know, those are 2 absolutely astronomical players in DOS9 and Sultan.
Oh,
See them
absolutely,
given more
man.
chances, it feels.
That's right, you know, to fight so hard, and it's just so exciting to see that obviously DOS9 still playing so well in Boom.
Scary though, Niffy with the Bucky up in the tower that they're not fully cleared. They know he's there, they don't want to contend with it, that's why.
With that spike planted, QQ God getting one back in means that they're forced into a very precarious position towards Tree. Seraphop able to find that additional kill, and yeah, with PTC and Valden, they're a hell of a long way away. This is probably a little bit too much of a challenge to try and defend, and Valden will just have to cruise away. PTC goes down, and after NAOS obviously finding a pretty important round back, Sharper are working hard.
Yeah, you guys are getting bad Komodo right now. That was appalling from NAOS and how they're trying to get into that B site. Yeah, they are not clearing any corners. They are not clearing any of the utility that Niffy has there. They're all kind of just running in, and you've got the Sharper guys who have full crossfires kind of already established. You know, they can peek out when they need to. Definitely not how you play against a composition where, you know, there's a Cypher on site, you've got destructive utility and stalling utility with stuns and mollies. You need to be baiting a lot of these ones out. Otherwise he's just going to get chipped down time and time again.
So just investing in with a little bit here. 2 Vandals, 1 for Zan, 1 for PTC. They're going to be the ones to try walk their way in towards Dish and drop. Eldon in tow. Good opening from Zan. Seraphop now having to move a little bit more in towards the site. Kadoom will be there to join him. So that's a very important opening pick for NAOS that they cannot squander.
Yep. Would like to see Moja potentially pick up the orbital strike here as well. Not available to even clear out all of the tower. Big fight that Kadoom wins, Zan by himself.
That's like going fishing without a rod, just diving straight through the smoke and pulling the fish out of the water. Beautiful stuff there to get back in the round from Kadoom. Now as they move their way towards the side of me, Valve, a great shot onto Nippy, and QQ God forced away as well. Really awkward, 36 points of HP. Utility to push him back too. Seraphop now trying to find something from the other side of the sky smoke. As they can really lock in here. Kadoom getting another back, making it awkward. Pressure's now on. Moja drops Seraphop. Exactly right. Available is some of that very important utility to just try and keep them out for as long as possible. Kadoom has to do it all. He's already found 2 big frags in the round. Now up in heaven, Kadoom keeps pushing. A 3rd big kill. Orbital strike now burnt Komodo. It's all happening for Kadoom. 4, but denied. It's PTC in the clutch again, and QQ God has to find it. Has to get them off. It's not planted for him, but he does have the arc rose. He can go for the fight, and he will close another round. PTC, the clutch minister, continues to deliver.
Control their choices.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to give credit towards Kadoom and his attempts to try and do something for the team of Sharper there, right? Able to get 4 kills, dancing around utility around the site that the NAOS guys are trying to throw at him. With aggression in the very beginning, but the way that he's able to find the kill on the stairs towards the tower, I think that one is, you've got to have really quick reactions on it. PTC though, the 1 versus 2 clutch at the end to hold the good on lead for NAOS right now. I say good on lead. It's a 2-round lead, and it's enough to make Sharper pull out the timeout.
Good time to do it. Again, as we mentioned, all these players in here together, wanting to develop themselves. They've got a big opportunity after making their way through relegations to make a stamp here in Split 2. Obviously, again, already have got a good run on the board. Win over X-God.
Pivotal moments these next couple of rounds, though. See now start to bring some stability. They can close it. If you see Sharper, be able to win this round, they contend with another gun round, and then they're equalizing, potentially looking to take over the lead. Gonna see a bit of an arcade duel here. Utility is going to be forcing both teams back for a little bit. Actually gives NAOS the space to be able to start to step by step up towards the site. Actually, no real big kill trips either on the site. Now there's no trips. Niffy down.
Yeah, big opening, completely high and dry. Zavi's even going to be able to get away from the aftershock too, so they can fall back into tree and set up for this post plant. PTC playing from the tunnel.
You've also got ultimates, right? You've got the Steel Garden that gets thrown in when the Armageddon rolls out.
I was going to say, I thought this might have been too tough to get in, but Kadoom's obviously trying to make it work here. Has the overdrive as well if he wants to get moving, and he will. It's going to be reliant onto him again to see what he can do. He doesn't check the corner, but it's not going to matter. He somehow manages to find that Komodo. Now he can get straight back onto the line. He can be the linchpin. Zavi has the post-plant utility, but again, it's just going to be Kadoom to see if he can get in further. They do get him off the defuse. Do they have enough time? Yes, they do. So Kadoom will live. Kadoom will be the one to turn the tides again. And I like that from Zavi, a nice post-plan approach, but when the rest of your team goes down, mate, unfortunately, utility's not going to save you.
To be honest, I actually don't like that post-plant that comes out from them. They did not buy enough time around the site itself to be able to bleed the clock down convincingly, right? You've got the Armageddon that forces them out. You've got the Steel Garden. They're not playing on the back of having the superior weaponry and repositioning to get in towards the tower or something, right? When you've got the Armageddon that clears something, if you're buying time with your own ultimate back, retake that space. You know, your opponent's cleared it for a reason. They want to get that territory freely. You should be re-getting that as NAOS there, because there was enough time for a full defuse, even if that aftershock didn't actually find the kill. On the half defuse.
It's just a kind of scrappy back and forth, right? As I said, you know, I felt like this series was going to be a little bit more gloves off. Now Zan opening up, finds the opener, make that a second. Nicely done here. The overdrive working out well. QQ God does get the trade back. So still many more bits of work needing to be done. Moja down to 1 point of HP. It's certainly not a done round here for NAOS. Still yet to get onto the site. They will be able to find a position now, but as that Armageddon goes down, it's not really going to do a hell of a lot except for buy some additional time here for NAOS.
They're all theft.
It's got to go out now. Rolling Thunder ready though, so the second it gives some information, it's just going to be the flashpoint to try buy some additional time. It doesn't go far enough. Kazoom, he was able to get up in his grill, but he's taken down. He just narrowly misses the shot. The bullet didn't quite connect. That could have been the turn of the tide. Now Niffy on the flank. Will find Valden, but Zavi still on the site. Doesn't have the weapon to work with, just the Sheriff. Use the aftershock to buy some time. Now PTC in the clutch again. Komodo, I am not a broken record. I am not repeating myself. It is PTC. Closing round after round for NAOS.
I feel no.
Yeah, when he's not found lurking up in the beginning of these rounds, he's certainly being a bit of a reliable factor, isn't he? He's got massive tenure in esports as a whole, and he's certainly looking to do some big things in this one. Is he one of these pivotal pieces that NAOS have been missing for so long to really dive deep in towards a, you know, ascension run, for example? If he was trying to get it to half there potentially before getting off and going for the fight, just not able to. Big round stave off, double digits for NAOS, looking to get 11 here before potentially seeing the big buy back for Sharper, who have some equipment in this round, don't get me wrong. 3 towards the sky smoke, it's on to Valden to, well, stand and deliver or disappear. He can do none.
Okay.
Spike down, attacker spawn.
Another scrappy sort of round, but at least it's trades positively for NAOS. Moja, PTC, Zan, all alive. They should have some semblance of information that the side of A should be free of charge.
You see 3 players run up there, you might think that it was a bit of a stack and you're having your Sentinel also set up on the site, but you're just dotting I's, crossing T's here as NAOS. Making sure that there is no stone left unturned and they can get in freely, go for the plant and play the post properly.
Yep. It's not even going to be an offense return though, is it, right? They've got only shotguns and... You're buying up in the next round, so you definitely do something here as Sharper. You know, if you can remove 1 gun, that'd be good. Or if you can just steal 2 here, then you might look to save. The Thorn's already laid down by PTC. You got an incendiary, and now you know where they are.
There.
Info gathered.
Go, go, go.
He will be able to pick up the weapon here, but you're exactly right. They're going to buy. They just want to fight anyway and try to do some further economic damage, but it's getting to that point in the map where it's starting to feel a little bit too late. You know, 3 alive for NAOS here means that the money is going to stabilize a little bit. They've got the investment. They're closing in on some of those ultimates. So NAOS are now 2 rounds away from closing out this map. Their opening pick here on Fracture. Again, still group stages, but for Group B here, you know, the winner of this obviously will take the top of the group, whether or not it be temporary.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Of course, there's you know, depth in how many games you do get to play. 5 of them in our 2 groups of 6. Got to get to top 3. So going 2-0 up for both of these teams here would be pretty good. Not gonna lie, you know. See what this gun round has for Sharper here. Only the Rolling Thunder for LBY to potentially bail out of a tricky situation. The rest is just standard agent utility and sharpness that comes through on the aim department. That Seraphop not going to hang around to try and win a duel. Where do NAOS want to try and end things here? Stealth drones on both sides, going to be exchanged at different positions around the map. No Cypher utility actually seen just yet at this B site until PTC starts to move a little bit closer. Going to be able to find QQ God. Actually, you will caught in a reload.
PTC again, right? Finding that opener this time. I think he's going to go for a swing in a sec, and he does manage to at least trade it out. And again, that's a very impactful member going down here. Now the fast lane goes through. Zan, punish, Kadoom. Able to take him down with just the Guardian, and that's completely shifted it up. Now Niffy's going to have a lot of pressure on him, moving into Arcade, but how much gaming will this man be able to do? They're going to be pushing their way in. They're not going to be clearing him either. Niffy uncleared! Well played from Niffy. The Cypher able to lock it down. What a play. Sharper still in this.
That's big from Niffy at the end there. And I'm noticing another situation, by the way, where Zan is just caught out on this Neon with the wrong way that Neon works, right? He's had 7 or so instances of playing this agent, and I don't really think there's a lot of comfortability for him. He's jumping out, he's not sliding or anything, he's pulling out the gun, and he's just not able to take a fight, right? So it just feels like unfamiliarity a little bit there for Zan. I won't take that away from Sharper.
Yeah,
I won't take that away from Sharper, though. Big round.
Some players not able to kind of slot onto these agents, and I think that's the thing about this game being so demanding, right? About, you know, following that meta. It's punishing to not be all on that same page, on that position. But, again, you know, time will tell. Things are going to develop. Now, taking the pause at the perfect time. They've been in the lead for most of this game, but again, they've not felt like they're far ahead, right? They're only a couple away from closing it, but it just feels like the entirety of the time Sharper have been hot on their heels.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of trades that we're starting to see from Sharper. They're a little bit quicker as well. Just seeing them kind of lose these early engagements and then maybe try and dig deep to bring it on back, right? Now, so playing the style of they get one, they reset, they clear some positions around the map, and then they opt to go together then. That's why it gives options for Kadoom, for example, to just peek through smokes and find something individually, or Niffy to just hide behind a box and then get a multi-frag because all that early utility's just already disappeared from NAOS. Only the single member towards this A side, actually, at the moment in Syrupop. And PDC is going to be singing by that drone. Generally, not going to move too much because that is the lurker. I don't think the drone saw Kadoom there at all. Didn't re-look back towards the position of the boxes, so there's a slight gap here that Valden should be aware of.
Oh, man, Kadoom has been hitting some shots, hasn't he? That's that neon diff. He's been able to find
a little bit surprised that Valden didn't just jump the stealth drone on top of the boxes. He can do that.
Oh. He caught out though, so at least it's 1-for-1 in those micro mistakes, right? Razorvines do go out, so it buys some additional time. QQ God finds Moser in the process, but they're already up on towards the side, but it's not going to matter when the denial of attack is there. Now PTC left all on his lonesome. Will be able to get into the high heavens, but now he has to just try walk through this sky smoke. It will fade at the most appropriate time. QQ God should find him. And it's a 3k to close out the round. So, yeah, man, Sharper, they are only 1 round away of tying it up. And I don't think the money is going to be looking the hottest for NAOS either.
No. Just a couple of these early duels. And again, you know, not using the utility the way that it potentially should be. Right? A little bit unfortunate and kind of, I'll say, one-dimensional. In how NAOS are playing the attacking side these last 2 rounds as well, right? It's quite readable for Sharper, who are happy to just play a little bit deeper and on the lines that they already clear with their util.
Yeah, they don't seem to be comfortable in their 5, right? That's been a big problem, but now it's a big fight towards 3. And it's Kadoom and Syrupop to just completely decimate, running out of bullets, meaning Valden will get one back, but when there's 3 on the trot in the tree position, it's not going to matter. Very nicely done for Sharper. Tied scoreline, 11-11. It was a bit of a save from NAOS, but oh man, after the start that we've had, 3 in a row now for Sharper really puts that pressure down onto NAOS. I don't know if they're going to be able to take this through now.
This might be the biggest amount of stability that we've seen in the server so far for these 2 teams as well, right? 3 in a row from Sharper. Could potentially drive on the back of that momentum.
This is a nice spot.
We'll see if that's actually what is going to happen. A couple of ultimates that are still being held. LBY, I noticed, has been holding that Rolling Thunder for quite some time. Not really forced out to have to drop it in. Money is not going to be a problem for Sharper either. They're going to have a rifle round for this one, for the next one, and the one after.
So utility not with a lot of reward early on. And they start to throw some back. Steel Garden here, Rolling Thunder to follow. NAOS getting their way in towards the side. It's Zan to find that opening. Massive pick here to find that early advantage. And now they're just going to use that time to slot in, get the spike planted. And Sharper have a big task ahead.
On cooldown.
I was going to say, they're juggling the spike because they want to try and get the plant. Valden, I thought, was going to have to go for the plant to get the Armageddon, but they give it over towards Xavi instead.
Xavi gets it back too, so it's a good another kill. Nippy will find one, but the orbital strike should buy some additional time, but it doesn't get anything. Sirafop gets Zan back, and he's frustrated. 3 versus 3 now, trying to push on in. Valden will be able to get another one, but both these members pushing through. The Armageddon, it's going to be popped. That's going to force him into a bit of an awkward line, and now LBY has to try close this. It is going to go to 12 for NAOS, I'm sure of it. They've all dipped back. They've all pushed in. They've got the salvos ready to pop, and I think LBY just has to accept defeat and get the hell out of there. That is going to be map point here for NAOS.
But are we going to get into an overtime? That's the question right now. Of course, I mentioned that the funds are fine for Sharper. You got all that you want in this next round. Got entry from Zan. A little bit of an overheat in a couple of moments there from NAOS, I will admit, when the orbital strike's going down, you know, and you've got players challenging. You've still got that looked after for Sharper as well, who invest the orbital strike. Rolling Thunder, pretty much, no, not pretty much. In fact, every ultimate that both teams did have utilized there, 3 apiece. So this is going to be the end of a map, which is going to come down to just your standard set of abilities, unless Seraphop is picking up an Armageddon. That would be really big here. I don't think as big as... Well, no, it will be bigger than the Overdrive, in my opinion, that Zan is one away from. Yep, they don't clear behind the boxes with the drone, but you'll have someone that'll look after that. If you got on the line, that could be huge.
Oh man, he gets across though, doesn't he? Straight up in towards heaven is going to be Zan. Now the Armageddon goes out. It slows down Zan. Niffy catches him. Valden one back though. LBY and Niffy, they're able to respond. It's going to have to be onto Xavi to see what he can do. Only 2 left. Valden, where are you, my friend? You need to try join your teammate. Now getting the additional space, the flashpoint to go out, but they're just waiting, buying time, holding for that utility. But Xavi and Valden, they managed to break through somehow. It's Sirafop in the clutch. He's the only one to try take this through, going into heaven, and it's all going to be on the timing. Is he going to be able to find it? One shot. Now he knows exactly where the final man is. But Valden will hold on. Will find the...
They are very invalid now to be picked. Like, with the nerfs that have come through to her or to them, yeah, it just makes a lot more sense for, like, an Omen to be picked as a solo smoker. But also then, like, you'd see more value as a Viper being picked instead of the Clove, or, you know, a second Initiator, or a proper Sentinel, because generally they played instead of the Sentinel, right?
Yeah, so, yeah, that makes sense. And I suppose, obviously, you know, Astra, similar story, not being picked up at heat too. So that's the comings and goings of these nerfs and buffs, right?
Yep, 100%. That's why we do like the chopping and the changing time and time again, and also just give me 100 agents already so we can really make things interesting.
Oh, you devil, you, Komodo. He's out. He's fighting. He's already looking for another 2. He should very well find Moja, so Doom does get traded in the end by Xavi, but that just sort of forces them back. PTC's gone hunting, and I don't think he's going to be able to find a hell of a lot. The Cam is in a prime position. He spot the Tootsie 2s, and I don't actually think he's going to clear this either. He does in the end, so that will be destroyed, and I think they're just going to let them into the site and play the retake in full here.
Yeah. Got to remember as well, when you're spotted out by the spy cam now, it gives you the audio cue. Big deal, Niffy though. Okay. Good cleanup for the remainder of the round. I was expecting that to kind of be the eventuation there. As I was saying, right, one of the buffs that comes through the Cypher is you've got that audio cue now when the camera is just spotting you. Right? So PDC knows that. It's not like the cameras now that can just kind of stay open and the opponents don't miss looking at you. It's a little bit more fair.
One enemy remaining.
There.
Now it's on to Sharpen and not drop this second round again.
Let's go.
didn't really get to see too much of their defensive side in the previous series against XGod, because I do believe it was on the attacking side. They did the staff. No, okay, never mind. I'm a liar. It was the defensive side. They had 12 rounds in a row on defense.
Yeah, pretty crazy, right? Especially for a map like Lotus, not something you'd traditionally expect. Alrighty. A moment in time. They're getting aggressive. NAOS want to move in here nice and quickly. Does the paranoia catch? Not quite. And LBY is going to be able to deny Zan on the offense. Should get some nice and easy kills. Valdon gets 1 and 2. A little bit too much for him there, I would say. But there's not really many weapons in tow for him to collect. He's got the Vandal, but again, he's going to track him towards a corner. And with a nice little spray there from Sirifop, he'll be denied immediately. And 3 alive for Sharper. They get the job done.
Yep, and now it's going to be the round 4 now to see what they're going to be able to deliver here, and if they're going to be able to be first team in quite a while to tackle on this map. I'm expecting Sharper to really have a good game plan on this defensive side as well, and not give NAOS a lot of space. Let's see what their spreads are going to be in the beginning. Trap play around Rubble.
Now we wait.
And I guess I'll throw the hat in the ring and say, lucky for NAOS that they're not going to contend with this space at Rubble. Instead, see what they can do against Niffy. And so also just be aware that they can be pushed at lobby. So the wall will be spotted by Sirifop. Expect that to be a bait as PDC. You kind of have a decision to make here now as NAOS. Do you continue into the C site? Or do you play time around the rounds? Hope that Sharper overextend.
Looks like they're relying on that.
Go, go, go.
But only for a short while. Zan is definitely toying with the idea. They wait for the dark cover to fade. They are here, aren't they? Kadoom already kind of in position. He's taken down relatively low. The aftershock will force him back, so should be a free sight plan. It does get baited, and now that means that the shot goes through. Oh, the bait. Yeah, nicely done. Zan able to utilize that catch to his advantage. But now he's 9 HP. It's going to be a tough defense here in the 5-on-4.
Remember, Vandals through a smoke. They're trackable.
Now the salvo's out. They have to capitalize on this position. Niffy tries to move on into it. Sirifop does make it equal, but Valdon trades out nicely. And now QQ God misses the jump.
One enemy
Guardian
remaining.
to try and work with here. Great sharp shot. And now where does Valdon take it? He's going to walk up. He's got the salvos. It's bold to actually go for this here. He's going to drop in towards spawn. Nicely played, forcing QQ God to try and take this fight forward. But now he's only got time to stick. He gets off. Valdon actually just going to walk on in, but there's not enough time anyway. So QQ God with 3 completely dismantles this side of NAOS. So for a bonus, I got to admit, pretty solid round from Sharper, even though they are unable to connect.
Yeah, just removing all of the guns is always going to be a big thing in the early stages of a map as well. You know, you'll force NAOS onto a bit more of a distraught buy here, but nothing too extreme. A lot of these trade attempts coming around on the site as well, playing in amongst the Teo utility, flashes as well. Ultimately, you know, Sharper. This is their map pick. You'd expect a lot of big things from them as well. You know, the 13-0 I think is the biggest thing, right? How did Sharper manage to go 13-0?
Crazy confidence, right? Once you get into the rhythm. Yeah. Froze there for a second. Mentally, emotionally. It's been a long day. It's been a long day.
Yep.
You got a busy day tomorrow as well, don't you?
Yep. Busy day, early day tomorrow. I gotta be up at like 7 a.m.
Oh God. Same,
yeah,
I suppose.
Make sure I can, you know,
stay here.
Well, stay in Korea, return home as well.
Yeah. Chaotic life of an esports talent, right?
We love Valorant.
Oh yeah, we do. That's why we're all here, all these years later. But now this offense from Sharper, straight down mid. Locked into position. Just got QQ God sitting there, ready to pop the paranoia for the door to open. I do like the buddy system approach that they've got going right now. They want to break open the door. They want to go for this mount fight, but nobody's home. And that's information immediately. Now they can just ramp it over towards A. Only a single member in Niffy there. And as soon as they break that trap wire, they're going to have full site control, and there is no way that Niffy can fight this. They just have to go on the 5-on-5 retake, don't they?
It's a bit different, a Cypher, compared to a Vice installing ability around this A site. Great shots out from Zan. Oh my lord, that turns this round
Absolutely.
upside down. Look at him go.
This ain't no Lil Zan. This is Big Zan right now. He is fighting hard for more. He's going to dive up and no.
Player
Will not be the fourth. It will be denied. Unfortunately, that rope accuracy ain't too sharp. Kind of like Lil Zan's music, but I digress. It's going to be Valden. Find around 4 alive for NAOS. And a 2-2 tied scoreline. So pretty good recovery here for NAOS. More work to do for Sharper, as they are going to be able to only afford a gentle investment here.
I don't know who Lil Zan is.
Keep it that
one,
way.
It doesn't matter, because we got Zan the Man in the lobby here.
Yeah.
A couple of 3 shots to come out of those ones. A bit of an overheat at the end there. But you do push Sharper into a bit of an eco here. Just QQ God with a upgrade of his own for a Phantom. Now it's back over towards Mound to start things off yet again, where we see Niffy, at least good for 1, not gonna lie. Makes things interesting, but you're already gonna see NAOS get ahead of the remainder of the members of the Sharper lads. They can set themselves up for a pretty decent, defendable post plant. Oh, never mind. No one watching for it.
Yeah. Pretty unfortunate there for NAOS. No opportunity for the defense. Now Kadoom wants to execute. Zan's denied him. Oh, Zan is looking so much better. Weren't we talking about him being pretty rubbish on Neon for the last map? Maybe it's not Neon, maybe it's just the map of Lotus in general. He's found 3, and now he's going to have to try and clutch it out. He is blinded by the paranoia, and now he's walking through his dark cover. It's all going to be timing. Oh, QQ God. Not QQing this time. Instead, he's clutching. And a 3rd will be secured for Sharper. They take the lead back. And QQ God, you better give that fist bump, mate, after you defuse that spike. Nicely done.
NAOS have fumbled again in just making sure that they're opening themselves up for trades, right? They're not playing in positions where they're watching each other's backs. No one watching on top of the dark cover. When you're planning in the open towards holes, that is one of the most common angles that you need to see teams watching towards. And then on the flanking plays as well, not expecting the full flank to come on out when a Vice gets taken down. NAOS need to get a little bit more situationally aware in these sort of scenarios, because that was, by all purposes, a bit of an eco to come through from Sharper, right? They had the pistols, it was just QQ God on the Phantom.
Spike down, B.
Okay, pretty big round there, QQ God. I see you.
You wouldn't have expected NAOS to have guns in this round, by the way, that this one started.
You're right, man, and that just makes the early damage done so much more punishing, because now Xavi, 10 HP, still a hell of a lot of time left to tick down on the clock. And no chance of recovering this round at all. He just basically has to sit and stew in it.
One of the big things that we're seeing, like when a Neon is played, seeing a lot of stuns work a treat to stall them, right? You've got fault line, you've got special delivery, you've got a relay bot technically for the Neon action. That's why I'm seeing, you know, like when a Waylay is picked currently, starting to see some teams maybe get the idea that if you're going up against a really sensational Neon, playing a Waylay is a pretty decent counter, right? You get that saturate out and you're really slowing them down to counter them. For example, you know, that's something that Talon Primi did nicely the other day.
The tie beast.
Force up. Bit of a half force, really, for now. Here's the Spucky. European PDC. Couple ultimates as well. Tabu. Can't miss the shots if you're going for that one, though. And QQ, it's literally deja vu. Opens the door and finds 2 kills yet again.
You can't be falling for that one twice, pistols or not, right? It's not exactly something
first
you can
time, shame on, you know, shame on you, shame on me, blah, blah.
Yeah, basically that. These last 2 rounds have been lackluster as hell for NAOS.
Yep.
So we'll just let it slide for now, right? You know, plenty of games still to keep on going, but you know that means Sharper's gonna find 5. And, it's not exactly the place you want to be in, but back-to-back 3Ks for QQ. God, the big man on the Omen, Thief in the Night. He's done well.
Yeah. Need to see an adjustment to come through from NAOS now. PTC really not able to be kind of activated here. Sharper though, a couple of these good rounds as well. They're really able to extend out their lead. And I mean, I gotta say, right, you said earlier, the definition of insanity, the same thing over and over again, but you forgot to tack on the end, expecting a different result. And this time, well, it's just the same result. So that is Groundhog Day there for NAOS. They're not able to change the result.
Amix getting animated again. Don't blame him. Plenty to talk about, but I suppose, you know, not everything is lost. There is still more time to work with. Just gotta make sure the pep talk is efficient. And I think really, yeah, again, it's kind of gotta be some sort of level of conversation where, guys, how have you let the same thing happen twice in a row, right? Reset, refocus.
Well, it's also like compared to yesterday where we had so many, or even the first series, so much rubble control, right? Where we're not really seeing that attempted here. Slight difference in, you know, not having a fade, for example, can be the play there. You've still got a lot of components, you know, to get Zan out towards rubble quite quickly. Start and flush themselves. That's literally just the salvos. And nothing else thrown from Sharper to get rubble control. Like, Zerophop salvos are done. Everybody else is holding all of their utility for Sharper. There is no pressure whatsoever that NAOS are throwing Sharper's way to make them dive deep into their pockets to play a lot of this util. And that flank shear wall, I mean, you can get a hell of a lot of space here as the defenders before that one needs to be toyed with.
Utility in. Time is now. NAOS really need to pick back the pieces. QQ God ready to open up the bank account once more. They've got the utility. They've got the Rolling Thunder. They're just waiting ever so patiently for it all to come through. And here it is, Komodo. Armageddon exchange, but they've actually gone forward. It's a complete bamboozling. A snafu. It's just Valden to keep them entertained over here, right? He does get caught up by the relay bolt. No, he actually manages to get out. They run it all the way to A. They've got plenty of time, and they've got a frag out of it onto Niffy. But is it going to be QQ God from the shadows?
I don't know if I've ever seen a situation like this where you've gone through C and wrapped all the way back around to A.
And anything can happen in Valorant, as we know. That's going to be the key factor. 15 seconds. Time is ticking. They are all wrapping on the flank. Are they on the attackers or the defenders' side here? I don't bloody know. Zan and PTC managed to make this round still winnable. LBY, though, will respond backly. QQ God taken. Zan goes massive, but it's LBY. He's already found 2 on this breach. Still a clutch opportunity in tow. But where does he go with it? It's so awkward. Zan watching straight onto that line. He's denied. He's over-aggressive. Zan did not need to go for that 4K. And guess what, baby? It's PTC in the clutch again. He can throw out the Steel Garden just to try and secure the round, and he absolutely will. The fact that he has to be put into this position again is ridiculous. But now find a third. What an insane round, Komodo. How do you even break that down?
You were scared. As NAOS at the end there, you were scared that Sharper were going to be able to pull it back, right? There were no crossfires, again, really established for NAOS. It's the way it is. When you've got one player below sight, you've got 2 players up at the heavens, you've got 1 player overlooking drop. There's no trade positions that they're really playing in. NAOS, I don't know if they're inexperienced when it comes towards this map with the new players that have come into here and, you know, the new agent roles that they're playing on. It's just playing on hard mode.
Both are getting the opening here this time. Zerophop, though, quick on the trade. Zan, he is certainly activated, hasn't he? A couple for his troubles. That's Kadoom going down too. LBY was narrowly on the clutch moment before, but he was denied, so he has to go digging again. Find the kill on Zan here. No! Zan denies! The man's tracking has been brilliant. He is caught on an island, though. Niffy will take him down. Once again, he's found himself in a position where he didn't need to overextend it. It was awkward. He obviously had a little bit of room to move to get out on the exit. Now as the rotation comes through, great neural theft. That will give enough information as the second tick comes through too. So They've got all that control. He's managed to actually separate here. That's so awkward. Xavi has to keep on running. He will find enough time to get on towards the side of B. It's going to be okay. He's got PTC to pat him on the back, and PTC may even look to clutch it out again. But they go for the very open plan in position. Nippy's going to be straight onto the line. Are they ready for it? Yeah, PTC. Of course he is. What else can the man do? 4 rounds now for NAOS. 1 the difference.
A bit of ring around the rosy around the map again for these lads. Good to see that PTC's wall kind of did entrap Sharper at the end there, and Niffy. Well, he can only really come from one angle, can't he? Trades around the rubble, finally getting a bit of a big contest there. Trying to slip past and find what you can, but really Zan running a lot of that damage there, and, well, good bait as well. Last duel to be won out by PTC. Getting towards the tail end of this half now. And if you lose this round as Sharper, you're not going to have a lot to play with in the next round. A couple of members sitting around 1400 and fashion something a little bit. Now, I wonder where he's repositioned on the From the Shadows when you see a deep, dark cover like this.
I wonder. He's somehow managing to make it work, though. The fact that he gets 1 there is just absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? QQ God has to not be overlooked. He's going to throw a dark cover of his own down. They get the arc rose into clear tree. Now it opens. QQ God, where does he want to go? Does he want to step through the dark cover?
Yeah. I mean, when that dark cover is thrown at that timing, you know that he's going to be close.
He's found 2. That's enough, right? What a huge performance from him. And the rest of them just set up and line to trade. They didn't even need Kadoom in that moment. So
yeah.
Another great response here from Sharper Esports. They are certainly holding on to this lead, even only just.
Because when you see Moja go for a TP like that, you're expecting your opponents to, or Moja's teammates to be around the mound, right? So the fact that they go for the immediate reposition towards the A site, the only way that QQ God is dropping that smoke at that location is if he really hears it. Generally, you'll see it at the actual choke point if you don't know where the team is already coming in from, right? So that gives you the idea that they do have a little bit of a setup around the site already still. And now it's just not able to actually properly get in towards the site there. Sharper. All of the information that they needed, and probably going to find the opening here because nobody is doing any utility to off-put Kadoom on the line. You had drone, you had salvos, you had flashes. There's nothing. These are standard things, guys.
Just the basics, right? Somehow they do get forgotten about even at this level of play. But we're only human, right? We're not cyborgs that know absolutely everything, what to do at all moments in time. And now as they get on towards this site here.
I'd love to be a cyborg.
Spike planted. One enemy remaining.
Very clean. Very, very clean. Just the pistols. Or now, since they do manage to get the plant. I was wondering why Conky went silent for a little bit there, folks. It seems it's his time for the internet troubles. But it's okay. He'll come back. Didn't really miss anything in the grand scheme of things. Just rifles against pistols. Problems for NAOS. Not able to really establish themselves in any sense of comfortability. You get Sharper, who just feel a lot more confident on this map, a lot more in control. Stretching out into the last round of the half. A couple of ults to be played for as well. A bit of a rebel contest yet again. Are they going to be able to get in front of this utility, though? Really only seen Sirapop throwing in the salvos. Gonna do so again, but this time Zan in front of all of that utility. Dodges the flash as well. Finds the opener, looking for more. Gonna get traded out. But it is the conceding of the A side, essentially. Now, they don't know exactly, so rotations from Sharper over to the A site now.
Don't know what it was. I froze in time, maybe stun locked by some of these rounds that are coming through. But we're back in action, and as this 4v4 continues to develop, there is some utility down still from Niffy, the trapwire. But they don't seem to be overly interested there. They've got PTC trying to rotate through main, getting in towards B here. And as the Armageddon goes down, they've got to get moving. Niffy, great bit of pressure, great bit of positioning. He can't find 3 though. PTC does manage to make it work, but look at how close they are. Valden has to be the linchpin. Oh my God! How's He destroyed that one into heaven. What a play there from Valden. The blind shot through the dark cover. A surgical approach.
That's just unlucky for Kadooman that he's been accidental in the wrong place at the wrong time. I thought Niffy was locking that one down sensationally, but look at this, the tracing on that, he's literally...
Shouldn't be. So I'm hoping that I hear more should from the Filipino side and could. But sharp up, look, they still hold on to the lead. 2 rounds ahead.
Yep.
And another pistol would make it really, really hard for this to be a 2-0 for NAOS.
Yeah, didn't really see too much depth on their attacking side in the last series, right? Only the 1-round pistol that they won, and then that was it, right? They had the flawless 12 on the defense. I want to see what more depth that they do have here. Getting kill goes good.
Top fragger down. It's been the main thing, right? You know, Zan was relatively silent on that previous map. It's mostly PTC. And now as we're onto that defensive side, it is going to be the 4-on-5 already as they have to rotate around, moving away from Waterfall. PTC will wait as the rest of the team will now rotate through spawn and try get their way back in on this retake. It's going to be a hard one. And it's fast. Straight on through. No holds barred. Kadoom inside the smoke, and he does find another, but he's taken Valden. Great response. There's still many more to overwhelm. Moja gets another. It's back to equal plaguing. PTC jumping gets it, but Seraphop able to deny. The salvos have been punished now inside the smoke. It's already half tick. They can go for this, and I think they've got it. Moja should be able to hold. He absolutely will. What a clutch from Moja. Big moment from the Omen.
Yeah, the fact that they managed to just get somebody onto half it, nearly getting the full defuse as well before the salvos go down. Really well done from NAOS, and I mean, it's Zan, it's Valden, really doing the lion's share of the kills here. Kasavi, Moja, PTC, not really having a good day. 1 round in there from PTC so far, right? But apart from that, had to kind of just play on the back of these strange rounds. I was kind of questioning a little bit when we're going in towards this map as well. Why are you giving Sharper the way to start on the defensive side, right? Because they had eight plays in a row on this map starting on defense, and they won it, right? 8 maps in a row where they've won. They're on a 9-win streak, and 8 out of 9 started on the defense.
PTC seeing a level of activation again. You know, it was an investment here into this round. Seraphop putting a bit of coin behind him. Now going to be able to find the orb off the back of it too as they keep on kicking. They are fighting for this one, but no. This is not what you want to be seeing right now. They pushed all the way through. I mean, they get the spike, but at what cost? Half the bloody team. Seraphop, Niffy, they're low, but it's a just basic mistake from NAOS and they lose the round.
Yeah, overheating again, you know. Name me a more iconic duo in this series so far. NAOS and overheating.
Bad Komodo is out in full fray. Now they just have to double up. Buddy system. I like that approach from NAOS. That's the best thing that they've done in this round is holding hands and skipping away from the spike, right?
Pretty much, because the only way that they lose this is if, you know, now the Seraphop is just on this outlaw and he does hit them. Because it's capable of doing it, right? It's why you got to see full shields. 125 for Moja, and he could lose his life, but they've played on the right idea. They'll miss him.
10 seconds.
That was still so scary, man. Okay. If NAOS lost that round, I'll give you a meme reference. You know the guy that, like, puts the stick in the bike front tire and says, like, how did this happen to me? Yeah, that would have been NAOS losing that round.
Yep. Credit to Sharper, though, having that outlaw on the correct line to be able to do some really big damage, but at the end there, Niffy and Seraphop just leaving each other to play individual. A little bit unfortunate there. This is the second round. This is what Sharper should be going in with the full buy. 3 light shields, 1 regen shield, Vandal, Guardian in there as well. Not the greatest buy. It's enough. You know, it should be enough as we're tied up. No smokes now for NAOS.
Yeah, not a very strong looking bonus, obviously, as well. So early damage already dealt, Moja taken, which means that PTC is on a little bit of an island for the rest of the round. But they
got some pillars control, but you're not really going to be able to do anything on the back of it because of the trap wire.
But patience can be a virtue here. I suppose the only negative is the fact that they are leaning very heavily towards A, and Niffy just getting a bit of info is all they need. He goes down.
Be aware of it.
Ooh, I
Aware
like
of it,
that.
at least.
That's massive, that jump clear. Now they have to go fight him. They should find him, potentially. Okay, but they've lost one in the process, so now they can at least speed up. PTC, he's not going to be able to get here quick enough either, so this should very well be a free round for Sharper.
It should, but how many guns can you remove now as NAOS going in towards this one? You've got, a couple of pieces of utility across KO and Vice.
Yeah, they haven't over-invested, so obviously the bonus is going to mean that they've got good money. PTC, patience. Yeah, it could be very good. I think they've left up this now. Obviously, they are going to leave Kadum in position. So as they walk on in, they just have to hard clear this, make sure it's in a position to trade. There's the opener. That's already the pass mark here. Damage being dealt, but LBY. He can be the one to make sure the round is closed. Now the salvos go through. Valden will be able to get around, but I don't think he'll connect the shot, or maybe he will. Special delivery is going to go the wrong way, however, and he will be taken down. So it's LBY to be the hero in this round for Sharper. 2 alive, pretty decent damage from the bonus, all things considered. But NAOS need to get moving now.
Yeah, you got to remember that Sharper already went into that round with a couple of lighter shields as well. So you'll start to see that have a small effect on the economy if this round doesn't go very cleanly. Love the fact that Niffy was aware that there could be players behind his trap wire up through the pillars as well, by the way, going for that jump spot. Tail end of things, though, kind of just making sure that Sharper have the crossfires established to at least get the trades where required. So nicely done for them in that little bonus round there. Similar sort of approach that they'll have going in towards this round, where Zan, once again, has gone by himself and has taken out.
You cannot let your Neon int. You need him alive. You need to support him into position. And basically with that opening pick, right, A site taken for free, and it makes it a really, really tough opportunity. Sharper should win this. NAOS likely go down. They've got to take the save. I mean, look, a 4-on-5, they obviously still want to fight it, but they don't really have any ultimates that make it worth challenging. And Kadum should very well find Valden here, or maybe not. Forces him away at least. They are taking their time. They're still looking to work with this. Niffy has rotated a hell of a long way away. I mean, they're going to start to make an investment here. Niffy still should have enough time to keep on working, but the time is running out. They're going to go through the doors now. Moja, punish. That's Niffy. Great pick. And now they're going to be looking even further. Xavi takes him, and that's the immediate save call. They can't go any further. Nothing they can do. Xavi is having a horrible game, and that means Sharper find 9. NAOS have to take the save, and yeah, man, PTC left alone on an island once again, just wondering what the hell's going on.
I mean, it's just some bad start of round calls from NAOS, I feel like, at the moment, where Zan's getting way too in front of the team. Right? It doesn't look like there's much coordination between Zan and being set up from the team and the team sticking around to be able to trade for him. They're a little bit too scared of all the utility that Sharper are throwing at them, and I think Sharper are recognizing that as well, right? If you're taking out Zan, the rest of the team are not going to be there to support him. Zan is just consistently going for these aggressive plays, right? On the attacking side, he was first in and he would get killed. It wasn't really working when he was going in for a lot of those slide plays.
You're going to send your Neon in, send him in with a friend. He's a little bit awkward at parties, but he's nice once you get to know him. So all the way into main.
You've got lobby control, but what are you going to do with it?
I know.
Like, there's no one in there. You've not found anyone. You've used all that utility, and you're conceding lobby back over to Sharper, who didn't even care for lobby control in the beginning.
They don't want it.
The first strat didn't work.
Now they're going to
do
take.
Now
they're taking pillars. It's fine. Or are they?
They're just all dying around the map because they're not playing, for any trap plays, right? They have options here. Playing around this A side if they wanted to at the very beginning. Have Savvy ready with the fault line. Have salvos ready. Have someone jump spotting. Quick reactions from Zan then can dance around a site properly. This time they just overlook him.
Spike down A.
In the grand scheme of things, that doesn't really do too much because PTC is in another postcode.
He's still had a minor interest, but hey, again.
Yeah. Sharper playing this map very well. You can see why it's a comfort pick of theirs.
Yeah. But as I said, like, the thing that sucks, because it doesn't take anything away from Sharper. As I said, I like legitimately picked them. I don't want them to win off NAOS underperforming, if that makes sense. I want them to win a clean game of Valorant, but Fracture was a bit of a scrap. NAOS got dragged across the line, kicking and screaming. And now we're here where Sharper have 10 rounds. Obviously, NAOS now are going to be able to invest fully, so they've got another opportunity to fight, but we just cannot see another moment where it is a immediate 4-on-5 disadvantage.
Yeah. I mean, how many assists did Xavi have in the last map, right? He had a amazing amount. This time, they've not found anything, and that's after already going through an attacking side where you would expect to see your breach set you up extremely well. Look at LBY, he's got 12, right? Like, there just feels like there's very large amounts of uncoordination from NAOS.
Maybe they're just really sort of feeling these role changes, right? You know, Moja, obviously he's flexed a bit over his time, but we've seen him do big things on the Neon. You know, times he was the heavy hitter of NAOS, and now he's at the bottom of the scoreboard alongside Xavi, who, again, yeah, had a pretty decent map in the previous. So it's that thing which I'm not an analyst, my brain is small, but I do love fundamentals, Komodo, and it's all 5 need to be firing to win at this level of Valorant. And when you've only got 3 that are kind of in the server and 2 with their toes just sitting on the edge of the pool and not willing to jump in.
That's me, generally. I got my toes on the edge of the pool and I'm not willing to jump in.
Sometimes you just got to take the plunge, Dion.
Yeah, but the waters are like cold then. You know? You don't like jumping in a cold water.
Mate, it's good for you. Talk to Mac about cold showers.
Cage trigger.
He likes raw egg, I don't.
Man, I've watched that man literally, like, house down 10 boiled eggs at breakfast at Ascension. That's why Mac
Feels like
is
do or die
jacked.
time in this map right now for NAOS. Has to be a must-win round. Good little bait plate. On the back of the Thorns and a Paranoia ready to stave off any aggressions. Cost of... And... the Kadoom, sorry. Using the...
Alrighty. Appears that they are making the call. The time is now. PTC spotted out early by the stealth drone. Now the Paranoia is actually going to force him back too. Xavi with a big kill. That's important.
Okay.
Nifty going down means that there may actually be a worthwhile approach here, but already Kadoom makes his way in, pops the Steel Garden. PTC actually ready for that, Komodo. Valden getting another one back, and this is such a better round from NAOS. They're patient. They don't overinvest. They wait for Sharper to come to them. And now, it should be an unlosable round. They just need to make their way in towards the site. They've got to be wary of this dark cover. Seraphop does have the Armageddon. QQ God still alive, but they've got to clear their corners. Komodo still kicking. QQ God can get taken down, but Seraphop drops the salvo. However, only the salvos is not enough. If he had a little bit more time, maybe the Armageddon could have got the job done. However, NAOS, 4 alive, 8 rounds, and a chance to bring themselves back into this map.
I said that round needed to be a must-win for them, and they do that one quite cleanly as well. You know, in a situation that it's 2 versus 5, I'm glad that Seraphop doesn't use the Armageddon there. Would have kind of been for waste, right? It's not like the spike is going down really, really low. As soon as that Steel Garden goes in as well, LBY just gets caught out because no one overextends this time in towards Waterfall. I'm seeing it from NAOS. Nobody actually overextended that time. Was that the call in the timeout? Did IMX recognize that they're extending way too much? Just chill, like PDC was saying in the pistol round of map 1. Chill, guys, chill.
He was, wasn't he?
Round 1, PDC had the knowledge. They all forgot.
But that's all it's got to be, right? Play as a team. I appreciate that you need to take space on a map like Lotus. You can't just be playing back on the sites passively every single time. But at the very least, if you're going to go in, you got to go in together. Now PTC, take a deep breath. You're not going to know it yet, but you're kind of going to be relied on here. They are going to break their way in. Looks like they've been trying to fake out the shear, but obviously it's not down. Arc Rose denied completely, and I think PTC is pretty happy with that to just let it slide. They're going to go for this full 5-on-5 retake. Utilities there, drone spots out. Now they're going to throw the Rolling Thunder in. So it's a pretty deep investment. I don't know if I like this from Kadoom, but he's going to think better of it and pull away. They just need to focus on getting into this post plant now.
Oh, the drone's stunned up a little bit into the post plant they possibly can. You kind of have to use the Rolling Thunder or an Armageddon. Here is now.
There it is. Rolling Thunder and the Armageddon on the opposing side. Zan finds one. Lucky to slide away, but goes straight back into his demise. However, it's not going to matter when Valden and Xavi are there to get it done. Another frag found by PTC and straight onto the defuse. Niffy, he was so far away, and I think PTC's got this full defuse without a sweat. Nicely done from NAOS. Another round where it's 4 alive. They're patient. They bait the utility. They don't overinvest. They don't think too hard about it. They go back to the basics, Komodo. And now they're 1 round away from tying up this scoreline. They force the pause. They force the hand of Sharper.
It's just having the numbers to go in for the retake there and going in with the call that they might be a little bit more confident on the retake, right? Again, a little bit of an overheat from Zan when he goes in and opens the rotating door, falls back, but then re-slides in, right? Your opponent has not moved their crosshair away in that situation. It's like it doesn't really phase them whatsoever, but it's the rest of the team falling back, resetting, playing with a couple of ultimates, going in together as a team, establishing some dominance, some good stuns in there as well from majority of the NAOS side. Now they bring it back within 1. Timeout from Sharper. That's 2 times at the C side now that it hasn't worked for them, right? So generally you would probably think to this yourselves, all right, we need to play it a bit slower. We need to go for an opening kill. Had seen Rubble work out for us time and time again, right? Saw Zan overheating a lot over there, so maybe it's just go back on to playing a bit of a spread default around the map with majority forces towards A lobby to start off. Your standard 3-1-1 setup, perhaps.
I wish we had more boot camp for gamers here.
Yeah. Boot camps, LAN, investments, you know.
I miss LAN. I miss playing LAN. I miss getting home at 6 in the morning.
No, you're an old man.
True. I'm up at 6 in the morning now going to get a bloody coffee, you know? Like, life has certainly changed.
Yeah. That's true. Slower start for Sharper, as I was talking about expecting, though not really pushing anywhere to gain an advantage and find 1 kill at least. You find that, and if he can drop in the neural theft as well.
Look at the change in approach, though, leaving PTC over towards A this time.
Yeah, I've always loved a change up where you have the Vice over at A. When you've got the stalling power of the Thorns that can go down, and you've got a Neon in play as well, you can get some pretty quick assisted rotations.
How does he get 2? How does he get 2? That is ridiculous.
The Pokeball.
And the fact that he almost walks away with a 3rd, even 2, is just kind of crazy. But now they're shifting up. Valve and caught out. Oh no, it could start to get awkward. You're exactly right. Spot on, Komodo. Spike still has a little bit of a way to go. But now what can Xavi do? He is at a distance. Has to wait. Seraphop straight onto that line. PTC does get the trade. It's a 2-on-2. Winnable round for both sides. But how are they going to poach it in?
Yeah, they have to do it separately, right? So PDC is going to try and find some good timing with Xavi. If you wait for the fault line and let him fault line you in, it's an option.
Oh, they're walking together. That's crazy. I mean, LBY now his position is given up. It's known. He's still got the fault line, but the Arc Rose is there for PTC. He spotted it, got the info. Absolutely, he did. He'll buy into the fault line and he'll try and go for it. But this time, Komodo, the stun is not cosmetic. It is real, very real.
Yeah.
Sharper will find an 11th round.
You're welcome.
I'm a little bit surprised, not going to lie, that Valden didn't expect them to already have come through the breakable door as well.
Bro, it was a 3-on-5. A 3-on-5, man.
He heard them go through it, and he just did not react in time. Like, you've got Seth going for these shots here and is seeing another opponent and trying to use a relay bolt. He's respecting or expecting them, you know, not to be pushing. But at that point in time, you're always just going to see the players. Oi, oi, oi.
Another game where it's pretty much taking all rounds of regulation here.
Drone going out.
Yeah. Similarly to last map. You know? Just very scrappy, uncouth plays. Using utility at the wrong time. Pushing the wrong moments.
There.
Buddied up.
Allen spotting out a bunch of information.
Yeah. Rubble control taken now. There's still this position
but,
of PTC holding A, but yeah, it's got to be...
No, at this point in time, he spotted the information and they haven't moved from C mount. They haven't pushed to get further information to rotate over. Like, now just not playing fundamentals on this map.
The only good thing is now at least they're taking some additional time by getting in towards it. They do fake out from the shadow, so it's going to be straight in towards it. PTC inside tree, he'll drop one. And now as that steel garden can be popped, he's got additional time. Zan gets two. Kadoom pops the overdrive though. He wants to try and go for this. He will be able to get it. He's not going to need any primary when he's got those finger guns out blazing. And now Seraphop spotted. It's going to be all on to Kadoom to try and clutch this one out, taking it to 12. He is off the plant. 14 seconds. They need to try and put the pressure on him now, flashing both of them in. Xavi trying to just tap away, walking in. They cannot go solo. They have to be together, Komodo. They cannot allow a lack of trade. And around the bend, Kadoom! He's done it again! I have shouted this man's name from the rooftops time and time again. And this time, it's for Sharper Esports, and it's for Map Point here on Lotus.
Boom, here comes Kadoom. He's done it again, and I can't believe what I'm seeing from NAOS. EDC, a lot to do there, trying to buy some time. Zan trying to go in and finds, you know, the damage there, don't get me wrong. He's trying to do all that he can. Seraphop's looking the wrong way, but you're exactly right saying you cannot go solo in that sort of situation. They're pathing wrongly around the site, but it's the beginning stages for me. Alden found the information, they didn't push mound, and now what have you got? You've got a push up from Kadoom, dispatching a motor, finding another one. This map is probably done here.
Hold out. Had enough. Would have to be an absolute throw here. PTC would have to deliver it all. And Sharper would have to give it to him on a silver platter. I'll give him a chance because we know how good he is. But I think his Thai brethren will be able to take him down here. PTC now creeping on his way in. It will be relatively silent, but they're doubled up so nicely. There's just no way in hell he finds this. And Sharper will close map method here. However, if NAOS are playing well, I think they can dismantle Sharper. So, nothing in between. Right. I reckon it's going to be a stomp either way. Let's see what happens. Final map for the day, ladies and gentlemen. Here it is. It's Challengers C Split 2. Who is going to come out on top? Is it NAOS or is it Sharper?
I think for me, Zan changing from the Neon to the Yoro, I'm hoping to see that be a little bit more comfort for him. He was getting extremely far ahead on that Neon. Yoro can kind of change him to be a little bit more honest, though unfortunately for Valden, there's just no one shooting down the sewers besides Kadoom shooting up.
Good opening here to find that early 4-on-5. As we've said, that was the thing that plagued NAOS in the previous map, not being able to find those openers. So they just sit pretty, happy with their setups for now. PTC's got a lot of control, but right now it's just going to be the bait and switch to try and lurk into Link later on. And now as the utility goes out, Zan finds the opener. Kadoom just trying to basically buy time right now. Will get a second, not the third. Moji gets the trade. Brought back to a 3-on-2. Still the advantage here. PTC should be able to find some safe passage, but he's made a hell of a lot of sound here and actually might get caught out. But no, gets the cam down and the cyber cage, so it's okay as the rotation comes through.
He's just lucky he was able to get back into the site, to be honest.
Yeah, pretty much. As I said, he was making a hell of a lot of sound, and a nice little shot onto LBY will equalize the scoreline here. Spotting out Nick, he does get the catch, and PTC, man, How is he the hero every single time? Now in the clutch, 1v1, does get the catch, does get the info, 43 points. He's already done this before. Is he going to be able to do it again? It's just a simple right click for QQ. God, he's going to get all up in his grill. Needs to try and play the distance. This is just ring around the bloody Rosie. And all I can say is, PTC, I feel like you almost deserve to lose that round with that kind of behavior.
Yeah.
I think there's just enough time for the defuse, and there will be Sharper win the first round.
He had to just go for the fight because the chase with the pistol there, it's not going to be escapable even if you've got that knife out, unfortunately. It's the right-click classic. It'll get you done with the 3 bullets that can go any which way.
Exactly. You want to play the distance against the classic, right? You know, you want to take advantage of the ghost you've got.
You just want to hold the one angle and try and go for the shot. Unfortunate. I'll say, the scrappiness has not stopped.
Breach. Got you.
Stopped whatsoever. Could have stayed in hell, to be honest with you as well. Oh well, just a round over the way of Sharper. Gonna be buying up a lot of these primary rifles here. Ouch.
Yeah, real ouch. More damage that can be done. QQ God getting 2 before he's traded out by Savvy, and Moji getting another. This is not the round that you would expect for a return. What the hell?
Go, go, go.
Jesus,
Stand training
Kadoom. My
now.
God, this guy is so good.
Just had his 2 warm-up maps and now he's just playing aim training. He's here to party.
That tracking is incredible. Let's see this replay.
Sensitivity, the mouse pad.
Dog walking routine, diet, workout
What you had for
schedule.
breakfast, or lunch, or dinner, what your coffee order is. Hello. See if NAOS are going to be able to get on the board for their counter bonus here. If Sharper are going to be able to answer back. Maybe have a good defensive start yet again. Vice set up over towards the C side at the moment. No drone abilities down towards A just yet from Syrupot, but you do already have Kadoom on the line.
Go, go, go.
Man, oh man. I'm a Kadoom fan. I mean, I have been for a while, to be fair, but...
You have been since he was on Myth,
yeah,
let's be real.
Yeah. Man, I'm talking... I think it was Myth back at, like, LCQ as well. It's just how far this all buddy goes back. I think I'm not talking smack on that, but I'll fact-check myself in a minute. Anyway. Now, watching...
Yeah, 2022.
Is that when we went to... Yeah, it would have been. Yeah,
When you
post-COVID when we went to Dublin, right?
Yep.
Damn, son. I just realized how slow this round has been. 30 seconds left. Kind of need to get a little bit of a wriggle on here. Kadoom's got a hell of a lot of space. I think he actually might even get a pick on to Xavi for free. Yeah, he will. That's happening, dude. I told ya. I said this was going to be a stomp one way or the other based on the composition alone. And now Syrupop is just going to get a kill for free. And it's literally on. I don't like the Isuyoru. I don't like it.
Another fun. Right now, maybe doable for NAOS.
2-on-2. Opportunity to
One
come back to
enemy
Doom.
remaining.
Gets the info if he gets the catch, and that's a great relay bolt. Meaning that Sharper are going to win out the bonus here, so that's 3 on the trot clean and on the lesser favored defensive side of Haven.
So, for reference, by the way, Kadoom was on that roster for like 3 years. Moved off it. He was at APAC, where, you know, we got to cover
30 seconds left.
against some Cerberus and Boom.
Ah, yes.
Stuff like that.
Yep. So I was right.
That was the whole Wanify, Delan, Delone Fills, Kadoom, and Conga Red roster, which is a hell of a long time ago.
That is a long time ago. Conga Red, man, my word.
Yep. And that was Boom with like Flip Shitter, Frostmine, Blaze King, Berserks, and Xpero.
Was that a same event was where Onyx was there, right? And they made it through 2 champs? Yeah. You've been around for a while, Komodo. But Zan finds an opening here. Pretty important, and it's on to Kadoom too. Xavi also getting one with a double tap pop. There'll be Y now with the pressure on him. has to try go for this early swing, and ward onto PTC actually means that NAOS pulled the plug here. The rotation's already occurred, and Moji's going to get all the way over towards C with the From the Shadows. There is the Arc Rose there, which does potentially pop some information. Maybe not, I couldn't quite tell on the line there, but rotation does start to come through now, and I don't actually know if Sharper really want to go for this.
Potentially. It wouldn't be a bad idea for them if they want to, though. Let's be real. But they would have had to already start to really make headroom in, because now it just becomes a little bit difficult if you want to get garage control, if you're spotted out by this drone.
Agility is going out, so clearly they want to play. Already moving in towards the site now. Niffy needs to clear this back cubby here, but Valden's got the line, got the cross. Yeah, it's going to be too easy here. Clutch it around for NAOS. It all comes off the back of those individual picks that start early, but at least it's 1 foot in front of the other here for the Filipino side. Recovery drink.
You know, you have to accept my apologies. It was Beta on the roster in that game against LCQ, against Onyx, where they lost the maps 13-11, 13-11. Do you remember? It's really close. Sharpie shots here, though. For the NAOS guys, at least to get on the board and not have the landslide affair that you were saying might happen here. Maybe we will actually get a lot of the scrap yet again. Operator in play as well this time for Kadum.
Time to jump.
The overdrive available. He needs to do something around the C site where NAOS are looking to tend towards. Better of it though, Mitch, would mean that they have to put some investment of utility to clear down long and clear down the sewers. Hope that if they're going to do this, they try to draw some rotations from Sharper towards this A site, and with only Seraphot playing here, he's just going to concede the position.
Probably the wise choice, but maybe not. LBY looking to join the fray, and QQ God also not too far away either. Dark cover to buy them some time down towards A main. And LBY is only one away from the Rolling Thunder too, so a kill would mean certain death on the site of A. Kadum holding onto that line with the operator C, so he's sitting pretty.
Need a decision here from NAOS though. 30 seconds, they've not baited out too much of this utility that's still refreshable around A.
Man.
And try and go in B and establish a plant, which they can.
Yeah,
so 5 versus 5.
Find a hell of a lot of sound there too. Kadum gets the line onto the cross there. Moja able to find that one. The Yoru of Zan does manage to slot in towards the Kabi, but this is where Niffy is going to start to feel the pressure, but just tapping away, keeping the interest as the rotation starts to come through. It is planted open, dark cover onto the spike, so Kadum can start to defuse here. Now that Hunter's Fury will go through, but Seraphop actually is able to deny. Finds one, but another gets traded back. And now it is going to be onto that kill contract. Xavi, if he can find this, it's going to be A-okay, but LBY does connect. Where's he going to be respawning to, though? Straight into the crosshairs of PTC. And that kill contract is the hero that they needed right now from Xavi. Now,
I mean,
they get a second.
He's trying to... The fact that he's trying to rip it while standing in the open in the middle of window and they just didn't kill him is quite unbelievable, I will say. But the fact, that he actually brings him into the kill contract and then the rest of the duels are won by the NAOS guys, it's a bit of a gimme that they're able to find that one at the end there.
Of course, of course. Got to be happy with that, though, for NAOS. They are putting the right foot forward.
And then followed by the left.
2 steps forward and 1 step back.
Right now in this game, it feels like we're having 10 steps backwards and then maybe 1 step forward.
For both teams at times.
Both teams, yeah.
Oh, it's alright. As I said, not every game can be blockbuster Valorant.
Yeah, that's true.
Sometimes it can even just be the stylistic approach from each of the teams. So Zan gonna be making his mark in towards the site.
Went to the sky.
Yeah, it really did. Uppercut living up to its name. Popping out of the dimensional drift and ooh. Great, okay, that's a lot of utility burnt for Sharper.
Yeah.
Cutting through.
And again.
In towards the site now, yeah.
Missiles away.
Xavi gets it. Spike planted. Surf up. Oh, he's going to have a rude awakening here, but Kadoom is there. How many can he find? It's just one. Traded out quickly. LBY, though. LBY gets 3. QQ God now alone in the 1-on-1. Questions are going to be asked by Valden. He does have the recon bolt available. The owl drone there too, but right now it's just a bit of hullabaloo, not knowing where to go with this spike. And he is going to have to make his way towards the site of A. Will get it down, and now it's on to QQ God as to where he chooses, because...
The problem is, though, where that spike is planted and where it's defendable from, Valden has to get pretty close in the range, and that's where the judge can finish him in one shot.
That's right.
So, if QQ God spots him, he should win this.
It's a double-edged sword, isn't it? You know, the judge can be so good, but one single shot from Valden is all that's needed to close it at a distance, and he's playing that long range. He's actually opting for the classic, and now as he walks onto the line, hits the shot, a tickle it is, as Valden is able to close out another round. That's 3 on the trot for NAOS in a row. Both these teams unable to break the mold.
A lot of angles that he has to clear, so you do respect the idea to going with the classic, but I feel like a lot of players don't actually recognize how the judge is still able to shoot and be, you know, very impactful, right? So, a bit unfortunate. He gets the classic headshot and he wins that duel, gets the judge out, and he's a bit slower to peek the corner. You try to navigate that as best as possible. Tied up scoreline, however, and we're at a bit of a round in this map for Sharper, where if they drop this one, a bit awkward and they have to take a knee going into the next. Big stack towards the A site as well, just seeing what Niffy can potentially do around C. Already dropping the Thorns extremely early on the back of an Arc Rose pop, so gives you the idea that they might not actually be really close towards the site. Standard utility in, no one's home. Should be 5v5 retake.
Seen a few of them so far between Lotus and now Haven. Fracture actually the same, to be quite honest with you. Full rotation around, they will break the trap wire. Now that will give a level of information as to where they're coming from. They'll have to watch the flank quickly. Deltron should also get some info, but it doesn't.
That clears all the garage.
No tags, but I suppose that's a reward at the exact same merit. Now they have to pick up the pace. Valden able to drop the first, though. Kadoom, an important member, goes down. QQ God and Seraphop happy to bring themselves back into the advantage. However, LBY pops through the smoke, and now Moja and PTC are the 2 left. Moja might have just found the spacing, might have just found the timing. Is he going to be able to line them up? He denies, and I think that could very well be enough. It is. Great pick there from Moja to slip the net, deny the plants, deny the defuse, and now take the lead.
Really close, though, at the end of that, and I think Sharper took way too long clearing garage, going through spawn, trying to get in to start this retake as well. Very, very paranoid. If you're going to this 1-4 split, you almost need some information and more of a deterrent from Niffy to be making sure that they're dropping a lot of their utility, right? Because they use what? Recon dart that they're going to get back. They use the undercut and the contingency wall, and that's kind of all they use to get into the site. It was very clean for NAOS to get there, and then it's just getting a couple of those trades and the time extremely ticking down because Sharper just took way too damn long to get in for the retake.
Sharper obviously using that timeout now just to get out of their own heads, I suppose. You can already start to see that they are feeling it, right? You know, it's one of those things where it's a long night. Lots of gaming, lots of play. And this game, you know, whilst it doesn't decide on, you know, are you going to make playoffs or not, it does give you a chance. It does give you an opportunity to further extend your run in this competition. And I think we need to see the best foot forward for Sharper, especially because, as I said, I just sort of felt like one team was going to stomp the other, and, you know, it started off strong for Sharper. It was looking easy, but now NAOS have very much been steering the ship up until that last round.
I still reckon this is going to turn into something scrappy, though, to be honest with you, from what we've seen. Somebody right now has called that they're not ready.
Yeah. Got to admit,
no tech pause.
We've been pretty lucky, I got to admit, with any technical pauses, haven't we? Touch wood.
Yeah, well, touch wood, because this place has a time limit on it.
Yeah, true. Very true.
For those that don't know, Korea has a very strict after-hours noise
Yep.
kind of.
That's why the man's in the sound studio with all the noise dampening.
Yep.
I probably have a
Literally
sound
played-
restriction here, but just, look, don't care.
Could be smashing on a keyboard or playing drums or massive loud guitar, and it wouldn't matter. That's a fake.
He's made sure of
Be
it.
careful of it.
That's right.
Yep.
PTC's found Kadoom, so I think it's actually been Kadoom that's been going down very aggressively. Should be another kill. No, maybe not, but it's good damage here because now that's actually given an opportunity for LBY to get back into this. You would have been certain that NAOS were out of this round or winning this round rather, but now it's on the PTC. He's done some damage. Outlaw double tap. And I think it's going to have to be Seraphop falling away there. At least helping out LBY to get out of that position. They'll double up though, and PTC! The marksman!
Guys,
Always play high.
guys, you already saw he had the outlaw, and you've gone in with light shields. You know that he can 1-2 you if you're not hitting the shots. You don't have the weaponry to finish him off immediately.
Finish him off.
One
Finish
enemy
him off.
remaining.
David Hoffman.
Pop, pop.
I'm delirious.
Yes, this should do.
Get me out. I'm in a fever dream.
You said uppercut, not undercut. You are delirious.
I know.
I didn't quiz you. That's why.
Hey, I've done pretty well. Ability specifically.
You're lucky we've had no waylay.
Yeah, I know. I would be boned if we had Waylay, but
I think the teams would as well, like how they've been playing their duelists so far
for
today.
sure. Look,
One enemy remaining. Spike
and then we
down
just
mid.
get around like this.
It
Where
was a gun round, by the way,
it
folks.
was, yeah. Like two just walk straight through the dark cover in mid. NAOS have been massacred, and now we have to sit here and wait
For a minute
another
10.
minute 10. Yeah, PTC. I mean, look, he'll probably go down and die. I don't think he's gonna try and save this. I don't think.
The problem is, if he's not going to get any ulti obs towards the neural theft because he's already got it, right? Like, he's only looking for any summons of damage onto the sharper guys, who, if he doesn't kill 2 people minimum, it doesn't matter. He needs 2 kills here to have any effect with the next round. The only person that should even contemplate a hunt is going to be Seraphop. But they probably won't, recognizing that they just need to save their guns as well. The hunt's not worth it to them. They've got more to lose than PDC has to gain. So just give him the
30
save,
seconds
and we
left.
sit and have the podcast for 30 seconds.
Cover going out.
Wake up, 4 a.m., cold shower, read, highlight the Bible,
Read.
meditate, 12 hours,
Splash your face with some water and ice water and have a banana.
seconds.
nose peg, mouth tape.
Huh?
You know how he's like the nose opening thing?
No.
It helps you breathe better through your nose. So like, if you use the nose clip, I don't know what it's called, but it like opens up your nasal passage more, and then you use the mouth tape. It stops people from mouth breathing, because I unfortunately am a disgusting mouth breather, which sucks, because it means that you get worse quality sleep. Breathing through your nose whilst sleeping causes a better sleep.
Right.
Better quality sleep. So that's why people do it.
I'm plagued with having allergies, and dust in the air doesn't help.
Yeah, correct. I broke my nose when I was 15 and it never quite recovered, so that's why my glasses are slightly crooked.
It's you and me.
Oh, the economy will be broke here for now, so if they're not able to do it. And we've got a dry kill contract thrown in from Zavi 8K. What is it with people going for dry kill contracts?
As I said, I'm not really liking the ISO Yoru. The only ISO I was happy with was Andy's.
Spike
That managed to
planted.
get them all the way to Ascension last year.
Meteor ISO cracked.
True, actually, I'll bring that one back, but right now it's a 5-on-5 retake in full, and that spike has been ticking for a good 10 seconds right now, and here's the offense going to come on in. Steel Garden, Rolling Thunder goes on through. Zan able to find one, so will Valden. So NAOS is looking pretty good to try and hold this one right now, as PTC will be able to get onto that tap, onto the defuse. Seraphop, oh, how is he holding it? Seraphop,
enemy
oh, he's
remaining.
been taken.
Oh, Valden.
Valden will save him. Jesus, it's close, but he has to try and find his kill now. He's gonna get off, no. Valden holds on, and NAOS walk away with 6 in the clutch. Ah, help me. Help me.
Valden goes big, Mitch. I think
Put
that's the
me to
takeaway from that
bed.
one. The attempt, right? The attempt when you've got the Steel Garden going in from Niffy. The defuse extremely close. Look at it. Oh, no, it wasn't. It was, you know, a sliver off it. It was, like, extremely, but it was the same spot at the end there twice. That's the millisecond that helps Valden, it would appear, on the defuse timer.
All missiles are...
They stave off being reset. Guns in here for Sharper. Kadoom back on his favored line. No operator. This is where you would generally see a drone go down to clear the angle as Valden.
Xavi is 4 HP.
No angles to be cleared. No angles to be cleared. We're dry walking away when a smoke fades.
Kadoom playing aimbots. Zan walking solo up A main. 2 on 5 for NAOS.
Here.
Did you hear of the story, Mitch? When NAOS were in 2 versus 5 at 6-4. And they died.
They lost the round.
This is a pretty untenable situation as long as Sharper don't misstep. They know they're in B for the tap of the spike and the shear being popped.
Thorns activated. 30 seconds left.
I mean, look, if they win it, I'll be happy. 2v2 on the site, maybe doable.
Last player standing.
Was for a second, but the paranoia didn't quite connect there. Dark cover made it a little bit challenging. So, completely
Last
clean round.
in the
Niffy
half.
able to close. 5 alive for Sharper.
Pretty contended half, not gonna lie. A lot of these rounds that will really question things, but again, I think there's going to be a big importance for these teams to go back after this series onto the VOD and just watch what went wrong, what went right. Adjust things for later. You know, one of the powers of this NAOS roster right now, they're running on the agents, is how you can utilize your Aura and your ISO to pick and pull things apart, right? Finding all the information. Not really been able to do that too successfully.
As I said, man, it was going to work out really well and they were just going to crush, or it wasn't going to work out at all. And I'm still leaning on the fact that it's not working out at all. But, you know, I'm happy to eat my words whenever anything happens. PTC has somehow found his way through Garage. Thankfully gets the catch onto QQ God there, and now he's popped the neural theft, so that'll give some additional information in time.
Actually a good lurk in combination with Dimensional Drift and From the Shadows originally.
Utilities out, Locomoto. That's going to be the scary thing. Moja. Oh! Moja, there we go. Where have you been, my friend? 7 to 5 and a half.
Where were the rounds like that, though, from NAOS earlier on, where they look really thought out? You know, it's layered, it's followable, it makes sense. Like, those are the things that I've kind of been missing, and because you've got a lurk, although it looks a little bit awkward in the spray, right? But you've got great clearing to the side with the abilities. You've got them going in and having crossfires later on when the plant...
The clear leader at all, in any way, shape, or form throughout the entirety of this series. I'll maybe give a little bit of extra to Sharper on the side of Lotus, where we did get to see a bit more of a trend upwards from them. But now NAOS, they shift to the lesser favored defensive side of Haven.
Yeah.
And, yeah, they've just got to hope that they can get this pistol and just put the pace behind them.
7 to 5 half.
Blind is dead.
So far, the team that was on 7 has won the map for both of these maps here. So if that follows in pursuit, maybe NAOS close this one.
Sam's got to be careful. Doesn't want to overstep his welcome here outside Garage. Has a little bit of a peek through the door, but then gives up the position. 50 seconds. Not really much gathered here for Sharper. They've got some info. But look at this walk down long now. They're at least doing it together. It is Zan and Xavi to do the disco. Takes 2 to tango. And I think Niffy's actually going to get the double trade. So despite the fact that they find one, now it puts the pressure onto Moja. Thankfully, he does have the dark cover to give them some additional time. You're exactly right. And look at this position for PTC.
You can call the audible for them that they're going up the gut to the mid though to B into the trap wire. Gonna be able to calculate
Spike
anything
down
on the back
mid.
of that specifically, but the trades are at least there. 15 seconds now.
Oh, God.
They've even got a contingency in QQ God watching for the eventual late flank. Good fist around from Sharper, all things considered.
Absolutely. It just felt like they were playing NAOS like puppets there.
A little bit, right? When you've got the extension in the very beginning, that they have the trades to come out and some damage that's actually done by LBY there. If you're able to pick them up, and then it's the good position to just rotate over and make sure that the trades are still going to come out. Doom, again, kind of fantastic and quickly being able to recognize where he needs to move his crosshair. Very impressed with Kadoom today.
Kadoom has just been good, man. Like, every single map he's been, you know, a standout individually for Sharper. No real surprises from me. But again, you just need
Your
the rest of the team to be on the same page with you, don't you?
it's like your old full sense bias for John Olsen. You got a player, you'll back that team time and time again. You see Kadoom, you back that team time and time again.
Mate, it was like
He's
the
got a
same
fan
with,
and Sharper.
oh, like, you know, Scary and Surf, and then John Olsen. Oh, the boys.
Surf is still around.
I miss Scary, though.
He's still playing.
I know. Big fan of Sushi Boys. Yeah. I miss the Riddle order, guys, actually. That's who I'm thinking of right now.
Hey, they're still playing in Japan, so maybe they'll be able to continue their good run.
Yeah.
All missiles away.
Well,
Uh-oh.
you probably shouldn't have ripped those, actually, Sirapot. You might have been able to get off and maybe find something.
NAOS might
30
win
seconds
the
left.
second round?
Last
They
player
might.
standing.
Maybe?
Unless...
Okay, okay.
Oh, LBY is
Nah,
done
we're
deep.
chilling, don't worry.
Shadows traveling.
I mean, Roja... No. I was willing it there for a second, but no, that's okay. That's the round that we needed to see come out for. Sharp up.
This is
Two
where
alive.
someone says
It's not
something
the
pithy and
prettiest
we pretend
looking
to
second
tolerate
round.
them.
Makes their bonus a
Go
little bit
ahead.
more awkward, but at the very least
Yeah.
there was a Vandal in tow. So a Bulldog and a Vandal ain't
missiles
horrible.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, some moments of lapse from Sharper, but Niffy and LBY able to stabilize at the end
Now
there
we
as
win.
well. Nicely done. 2 to survive, as we're seeing. Means that this bonus round is probably going to be, you know, a little bit easier for NAOS, you may expect. Yeah, throw them on scales, heavier to defender's side. Creeping up. NAOS through long A, Sharper through long C. PDC that you want to try and contend with. Immediate dark cover as well. There's a bit of timing that NAOS had before needing to drop that one. So if you're trying to reposition Sharper into any traps, certainly want them to try and have a duel against Zan here for him to gate crash out to safety, get an advantage as NAOS. Now's the important time as well for Sharper's mid-rounding, right? They need to come out with a pretty good idea on how they want to pivot around and end this one.
Deploying drone.
Information's going to be gathered. It's all going to start to happen very, very quickly from here. Kadoom with 1 and 2 on the entry. Does manage to pop the double tap, as Zavi does take him down. Quick smart. They are going to find a spike plant though, Komodo. It's a very, very close
Spike
offense. And my
planted.
eyes are going to be on to Zan to see if he can actually get this catch here. Because he is playing low, Niffy, below the window. Exactly right. The shear will make it awkward.
Yeah, he's going to have to wrap around completely. You can actually meet up with Savvy here.
Might be able to get the catch still. They're not exactly watching in that direction, but I don't think he'll fully look for it. No, not at all. Got to get caught out. A little bit off guard there. Zavi also taken down by Niffy, so this is a very good round to be winning if you are Sharper. PTC's got no chance back into this round, and the Thai side will win their bonus round, taking the lead back and edging
And
closer
PTC.
towards victory. PTC goes down for the count, and now they're just going to have to be choking down on an eco round.
4 players surviving for Sharper on the back of that one as well, right? It's on the back of Kadoom being set up to just get into the side, and he's catching poor old Valden getting out of the drone. Zan, trade by the gun barrel poking out, and then it's pretty pivotal from Sharper from then on out just to make sure they're not overstepping. Really well played round That attacking bonus side. NAOS have to kind of pick up some things earlier on. I was kind of wondering why are they waiting so damn long to use the owl drone. These sort of rounds as well. And it is just the sheriffs. As long as Sharper come up with an idea, you know, maybe around the 40-second mark where they want to go towards, it should be alright for them. Drone is going to absolutely just destroy Zan's chances of getting out.
Foolish.
Complete denial. But PTC and Moja trying to at least make something
One
happen.
enemy remaining.
LBY will deny. Seraphop gets the response. And Bowden's in a decent position here if he's overlooked. And
Spike down
I mean, he's
A.
not going to be, but at least he will connect with the shot now. It is going to be the salvos to force him straight into the duel. Yuki God to take him down. Another round goes the way of Sharper, and they only need 4 more to close this series.
Yeah, so far, you know, weathering this attacking side quite decently. You've got a couple of ults that you're going to be picking up to go into this next one, but I think we just need to see something more decisive from NAOS. PDC, you know, he's still being alright on the lurks, but what I want to see from them is some forward information, right? I want to see them using the drone nice and early if the recon data is destroyed, going up for a bit of a trap play. I want to potentially even see a Cypher Cam deep in towards C-Long, so you're getting some really early information, because if that Cypher Cam gets destroyed or spots out some players, you can start to push up A really early and catch Sharper off guard, right? These are some really standard things that you're seeing with this composition that NAOS are running that they're just not doing.
It's just getting concerning, right? For NAOS's tenure in Split 2. They're a team that is a regular attendant into events like this, into Ascension. They've been around the block a few times, the players individually as well. But they need to be convincing. They've got a massive fan base of supporters behind them. The Filipinos are passionate. We love them dearly. And I think we need to see NAOS give them a bit more inspiration, especially when you don't have the secondary Filipino side in Zol also supporting.
Very big round for NAOS. The importance on this one can't be understated. And this is what I'm talking about. Deep Cam taking space early. Finally, thank you. And you've also got a bit of a push-up through A long where you've got a gate crash available. So as long as they don't overplay it here as NAOS, they've actually got some pretty key pieces around the map catered for.
Once again, it's a slow start. But as you mentioned, obviously, Zan with that deeper line hasn't been able to find anything just yet. And obviously, after losing the gate crash, it should be a full investment into this round. Moja finds one back, and now they are going to throw out the Steel Garden.
Yeah.
So it's just the one for none so far.
One of these things where you're running the Teo, you're not putting the missiles at the front of the B site to destroy trap wires if Kadoob wants to go there. So that's a misstep from Seraphop, but that's also a misstep at the end from Zan. You know, the way Sharper have been playing, they kind of recognize that you'd be pushed up like that. So the fact that he's just caught sleeping,
30 seconds left.
he's just not expecting that.
Sleepy and A, Talking Studios. Savvy. Find the one. Bowden able to hold on for a long period of time too. Nicely done there from Bowden. Great 3K hold down, and that just means that this one still has life, still is looking to go the distance. And this game is not slowing down or skipping a beat.
It's the difference in NAOS actually taking some space around the map to get some early information, right? You got the early camera down C-Long to recognize they're not there immediately. Yes, Zan loses his life, but he still is at a position where there's enough time bought just being that far forward from when he dies for the team to rotate towards the A side.
Spot on.
So you got a bit of a different look for them going in towards this A lobby where they've got some numbers to play with here.
Moving quickly too as well, aren't they? Zan is going to be able to get out this time with the gate crash. Niffy though finding the opening on Zavi. Yuki God going for that quick from the shadows in towards heaven. Drops another. Kadoom finds Zan, and all of a sudden it's a 2-on-5. You do not collect go. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. That's what I'm going for. Go directly to jail. And And that was a little bit of an awkward duel up in heaven. I think we just skipped off. PTC able to find QQ God, so at least him and Moja are trying to make something happen. It would be a horrible, horrible blunder if we do not see Sharper bring this round through. Xena drop in, but LBY is in position, so that is Sharper collecting the bag again. 10 rounds secured. And what's the financial interest going to be looking like for NAOS? That's going to be my question here. I think they've got enough. They should. Yeah, plenty.
Yeah, they definitely.
They're chilling.
Besides one player who's down on 2,000, for example. I like the change of pace, though, from Sharper, right? It's one of the differences that the Neon affords you on this attacking side as opposed to the Yoru, when you've got to be just a little bit more methodical and pushing up. That's why you see a lot of these ISO players have to use that contingency, or you're using the deeper dark cover down A long. Really need to see that too much from Sharper and the way that they're doing it, and just catching NAOS off guard, who of which have 5 ultimates to be able to play with in this new round.
Opening for Moja, very, very important. Zando spotted. Xavi, Valden, okay. It's a back and forth, just like we saw in the opening map here in this series of Fracture, where no one team can find a consistent run of rounds. Niffy does manage to get one back, but he's quickly taken down. Could have been a different story with Moja and Xavi going quite low, but PTC was there and healthy, so hasn't had to be relied on for the clutch a little bit more regularly. But Komodo, man, oh man, this game just keeps going.
I told ya. I'm telling you. You expected this to go one way, you know, from one of these teams. I said no, it's going to be scrappy as hell.
Yeah, I was just hoping, man. I'm quite regularly wrong, though, you know. And I'm okay with it. I'm learning. Getting more mature.
True. Still, kind of abysmal performance from Zan and Xavi at the moment. Need to see them get active a little bit more in how they're defending on this side. Making sure they're winning their duels in the crossfires would be quite important. Specifically, if Sharper want to go towards this C site, Seraphop will just pick up the Armageddon. And also has the overdrive available if needed. Hopefully see the Sharper guys all grouping up and starting to clear an angle and opting to just go together as a team.
A few warning shots from
Niffy. They should know that trap eye is in front of me. It's always been there.
Not overly that keen on going for it. I don't think he's caught anything again, has he?
No, I get the idea. He heard footsteps, but he's not got anyone on his team to stun anything, right?
Yeah.
He's not got any blinds to you know, catch him. Nothing.
Now it's going to be a side offense. Shadows is pop. Valden lines him up. But QQ God does afford him the trade. So it's 3 on 3. Big flank starting to come through from NAOS. And the eyes of Seraphop, exactly. He's already gone onto the hunt, but he's taken down. Great bait in from Zan. Xavi able to find that one, and now they're already up on towards the side here. It's going to have to be Niffy. It's going to have to be QQ God to try and collect. As QQ God, 1 versus 2 here, has to try and isolate the duels in the 1v1s. He's got the line, he's got the angle, now has to just bait Xavi into it, but he does find the shot, does connect. And somehow, someway, Komodo, it's 10-10 on the scoreline.
Yep. I mean, the dimensional drift from Sand, finding all the information that they needed, right, to at least get in these kills, get in these trades. 1 versus 2 at the end there that QQ God tries to navigate, you know, playing the technical right angle if he doesn't want to be spotted out from heaven. Just not able to find that duel, unfortunately, in the 1 versus 2 against Xavi. 10-10, huh? This one might deliver all the way.
I'm letting everyone know that's watching at home that I'm standing up now. I've had enough. I've taken the gloves off. I'm fine. Valden's been a real hero in this one so far, hasn't he? 22 kills on this Sova.
Yeah. Information for now, planned together, up through C, changing up their approach as well, and having all of their Cypher util from PDC at the A site. That first trapwire is destroyed. He's got a second one that he could potentially swing out from if he gets smoked off and find the kill. Seraphop as well. He's toying with the idea of using his Armageddon early. We'll find PDC. Means he can't play on the back of his own util.
It does give
gets back on the line.
Tiny bit of extra space, but only for the short term. You know, they haven't capitalized on it, as you mentioned.
5v5 retake again. Hunter's Fury from Valorant, not called out yet.
There it is. Doesn't deny, though. Now the From the Shadows utilized for the information. I don't actually think they're aware of that at all. Moja, though, has found one. So is Valden. QQ God playing the distance. They're keeping their eyes on. But QQ God does manage to connect again. It's Valden, though, being the hero once more. Seraphop and Kadoom still alive, trying to fight the good fight. But unfortunately for Kadoom, Valden is stepping into the shoes
it's
of
Valden.
the hard carry for NAOS. And that is going to be the Filipino side taking an 11th round. And Komodo, unfortunately for Sharper, they've got no money to fight this one.
I can't see them
Makes
yet.
it hard. You're going to have to potentially see Kadoom go big with the overdrive, but I think for Valden there, it's recognition as well, right? That when that From the Shadows comes in, he has to get off the Hunter's Fury. He only shot 2 bolts. He cancelled it because QQ God, I believe, was spotted out by the other player that was playing next to Valden, whoever that was. I can't remember. Regardless, timeout now for Sharper because there is a big decision to make here. If NAOS have found the right game plan and the information they want to take, you know, they could close this, right? Sharper recognize that they're just pushing down C long time and time again and getting these cleared flanks, getting these informations to rotate through A. You'd hopefully expect so, with the way that NAOS have been stacking that A site a little bit more prominently. It means they're getting information somewhere, right? Either pushing up through mid or pushing up through C.
It's just been a weird series, man. I'm trying to use my highly analytical and technical Valorant wealth of knowledge that I've built up over all these years. Just kidding. But realistically, to me, it just comes down to this constant measure of no team seems to be in control of their own fate, right? And it just seems that, fortunately for NAOS, they've got the individuals to kind of carry them forward in these moments, right? You know, Valden's 26. The next one following is Moja on 16. And they've somehow taken the lead off the back of that hero performance in the last sort of, 5, 6, or 7 rounds.
Locating target.
These are the big ones. You've got a bit of a half force up from Sharper, so at least an affords that you can do something in the next round if you do drop this one. Everything cleared out, at least to the C site, besides the destruction of the trap wires that'll start to come on out. I mentioned the overdrive before, right? Have to see Kadoom go big.
Oh, absolutely. One and done. So very nicely played by Zan to at least bring it back to this 4-on-4. Weaponry, as you mentioned, not exactly there. The full investment, or half investment at the very least, to try and sever this attack, sever this approach from NAOS. And with the shear going up, it is going to separate the retake for just a second. And as they start to push in, Seraphop's position is quite precarious. A great use of the blind side to go on out, but he doesn't look for it. It's not going to connect, and now the Steel Garden can go in. Oh no, NAOS have to save. This is oblivion right now. 11 to 11, make a wish. My wish is for this game to be over.
Guys, if you see a shear and one of your teammates is waiting to go through it, don't bait him.
Blinding.
Go together. 1, 2, 3, go. You know? Savvy and Zan should have gone through that shear together and gone for a double flank. You got the flashes, you got the shield that Savvy can pop for the double tap to take those duels. It's just misplay. They are actually playing on hard mode. Credit where credit's due for Sharper. Managed to get the right components to stave off the retake. You know?
That's a good shot.
Sheriff shot out from the cubby. All rounds of regulation here now.
Yeah. Zan with the operator. This has got to be the impact, right? PTC's there to support and try and break the drone, but it doesn't go up quick enough. And oh no, Zan, you are in a very awkward position, my friend. Thankfully, they aren't going to overinvest. They pull the plug. Sharper doesn't want any of that smoke.
No immediate push up from the A side of things either, like we've seen from Zan. Spotted out towards the C side, so it gives Sharper the idea that this round looks a bit different. Zan's the correct spot.
Him being alive is such a big turn of the tides here, because now Moja's also going to be able to pick up one, and that could very well be one of the nails into the coffin of this series. But still,
now you just become statues as NAOS,
exactly
right?
right.
You're 5 versus 3. You don't individually peak, man.
Help!
Die.
Xavi gets the trade back at the very least. Picking up the pieces of PTC, who was The sole reason NAOS won Fracture. And
30
Sirifop
seconds left.
able to find that one back. Him and QQ God. They've got an opportunity to find the spike plant here. Come on,
Okay.
no. What is
Why?
happening, man?
Why is
QQ
everybody
God.
peeking dry lines?
1v3. Give him a chance, Komodo. Let him cook, okay? He's got a moment. Paranoia goes out. Zan does get out the gate crash and the fake out and the blind side, but it's awkward now. Contingency goes on through. Moja up the top, but I don't even think he's going to be able to find the defuse attempt. QQ God dies. Well, the round opportunity in front of him at the very least. Now's hit map and series point.
Can't believe you thought that this series was going to have a clean map rematch, honestly.
Oh, God, man. Copium.
There is like 4 duels here where people have just peeked individually on a line that an opponent can just be in because you've not cleared any positions. You've got no space, no control.
Man,
Alrighty,
Zan,
last round of regulation.
Zan is 10 and 21.
Yeah.
Alrighty,
He
here
might
we
be 10 and
go.
22.
We're giving it all. It's happening. Oh, Zan! My boy! He's doing it right now. Oh, hang on, never mind. Scrap that. We've just lost the 2 duels. The duelists have not won their
It's all right.
duels.
It's alright, it's a 2 versus 3. This is where Sharper have to come out with a really good call.
I'm sitting
You've
back
still
down.
got all of the utility, right? You've got all the utility. You got Thorns, you got Sheer. If you can somehow get in towards one of these sites, you can set that up to make it a little bit more awkward for NAOS, who, at any point in time, by the way, can get PTC to just neural theft long. The team pretty much holds that now, clearing together. He should be neural thefting to get in the information, but he'll just get it by that trapwire being destroyed. Now they're cemented in stone, all this info. Deep Sheer. This is the util I'm talking about.
We're going to overtime. It's happening.
Maybe.
2 versus 3. Razorvine's down. A little bit of space to be built up. Sirifop diving into the garage. All
1, 2, 3,
three of them
go.
are going to go
Nice.
together. Exactly. Teamwork makes the dream work, Komodo. Niffy on the line. Gets spotted out. Arcrow's not needing to be put down, or it is. On the line. It crosses up. They line up. And now it's on to the 1v1. Moja has to try clutch this. He's got the salvos. And it's going to be so awkward. He's so low. And overtime it is. It's happened! Sirifop with the 3K does exactly what Sharper needed, and we go overtime.
Zan heated, overheated. Savvy lost the kill contract. And then at the end there, the 3 versus 2, it's the utility that works a treat for Sharper. Right? There's a single angle that now flood through. And if you've got a good blind, good stalling, you can then just rely on Sirifop with the mollies to get the job done. It's pretty simple for Sharper at that point in time, and now we're in overtime in this scrappy series between NAOS and Sharper. Let's see if there's going to be any clean gameplay for this overtime.
Mate, I've gone past the desire for clean. I want mess. I want spaghetti on the floor. And
I want spaghetti.
I know you do. But you're going to have to wait a little while longer, Komodo, because we've got more Valorant to commentate and engage with. The audience is watching along in the chat. Their hearts are being torn
Kadoom.
left and right.
Kadoom.
It's a walk straight in. Kadoom gets the kill, though. Somehow managing to walk away with that advantage. Moja not traded. There was 2 members there just outside the garage in grass. So now Kadoom back on the site. They've got garage control. PTC now walking forward. And it's just so separated, isn't it? Look at this from NAOS. They are just all over the shop. However, they will reconvene and make their way towards A.
It's the point in time that Savvy should have been pushed up by himself here, right? If he wants to try and find timing on a flank, you're the one that has to kind of take the initiative to find the gap here. You know, you're not seeing anyone present you an opportunity clearing the angles, but he's taken like a minute to just get down the sewers. Waited for the whole team, and now it's just all the information.
We're all going for it now. Zan gets the trade back out, giving an opportunity, but it's LBY who has been the king on the site. The breach that knows how to control this narrative, steer the ship for the team. Kadoom also joining A little bit of a team stun there. PTC, Valden
10
creeping
seconds
up
left.
in towards the site. They've
He
got to
needs to
get this
plant.
plant immediately. They need it.
Player
And he's
standing.
taken down. Spike's being
down.
dropped. No chance for PTC to do it. They would need to go down. They would need to die. But Niffy, he will not go down. He is the Sentinel. He is the Rock. And
Just look at the
Sharper.
timing.
Fine 13.
Look at the timing from LBY around that site, right? He's just dancing around, playing with the stun, playing with the flashes, but then as soon as he recognizes the time, here, right? He does not overheat to try and find the extra kill. He plays around the dark cover, he plays for the time, he waits for the team. It's extremely well orchestrated from LBY around that site. Like, a lot of the time that we've seen in this series so far, someone would do something like that and then just go for the kill, right? They'd probably overheat and die. It's just the difference of settling down a little bit and having a clear conscience that you don't need to overplay and give your opponent favor.
LBY has certainly had some big moments on both Lotus and now here on Haven. So NAOS take the final timeout to see if there's any way of getting back into this. Of course, sudden death format, right? It's a one and done here. Sharp up.
Yeah.
Find the
Remember
rounds.
when it was just the one round in overtime?
Yeah.
Way back when?
Oh, yeah.
You did like have teams pick like attack or defense because if they get into overtime, it's better on one of the sides depending on the map.
Oh, yes, I do.
Now we wait.
That was back when I was playing, dude.
Yeah, you on Bind had that situation, right?
Yep.
In that series, yeah.
We ended up losing shortly after the mistake. Shout out to
Poor
the
admin
team.
decision.
Yeah, it was poor admin, but at least the players were all on the same page, which is good. So, nothing about me. It's all about Sharper and NAOS. Now it's a quick step up in towards C. Look at this pace behind him. Kadoom, he wants blood. He wants to get onto that side. And it's going to have to be Moja to try and be the hero to defend. But they pull the plug. They haven't actually entered in right now. That fast lane has denied. It's declined. They're walking out of garage now, and they've just left Niffy in there.
They hear the shield popped, and they also see the paranoia, right? So there's an idea that there's at least 2 players already on this C site. They don't want to try and waltz in towards that when they've got no control of C long. So they let Niffy play on towards Lurk.
Great clear there.
And yeah, that is a great clear.
Zan able to find it. They've all walked into garage together now, and with only 45 seconds left, they still do seem to want to reconvene towards this side of C, and you can just see that Moja and Zan have made the call to rotate back around. They're still going to hang in there and see what they can do. Moja needs to find this pick onto LBY, but he's caught lacking, caught
30
slacking.
seconds left.
And now Spike is going to be planted, and that will mean that LBY is only one away
Spike
from
planted.
the Rolling Thunder here. The rotation's going to have to
can-
start to come in. Are they going to be ready for it? Komodo, Kadoom. No, Zavi finds it. 3 versus 4.
Yuki will eventually have one-way smokes onto the top of site from long
Yeah,
too.
you're right. You're absolutely right. He's completely on an island, isn't he? But he needs to live on for as long as possible. LBY, as I said, he gets the 1 kill here. He finds the Rolling Thunder. He's got it.
Rolling
Oh,
Thunder.
he's got it. It's available now.
The
That
one-way.
can just buy time. The one-way's there, exactly right. All he needs to do is just pop this ultimate, get them off the defuse. There it is. Finding it now, but it's got half tick. That's so important. PTC's pushed forward. He's gotten into position. Paranoia now to come out. It's denied. It's denied. He's going to be able to hold on to it. Valden has done it again. Getting it to
it's PTC,
half
man.
there. Getting it to half.
PTC getting that kill.
Overtime.
PTC getting that kill when he's paranoid. It's a near sight, but he doesn't have the proper sight. He's just sprayed 2 bullets and got the kill. And yes, of course, Valden managing to get it half because of the missed timing on the Rolling Thunder to come out from LBY. It's a little bit too late. You watch that back and, oh man.
Any other circumstance, any other world, you get that Rolling Thunder, you win the game. Hands down. There's no question about it, but oh, it just doesn't quite work out for LBY. Exactly, the timing of misfortune, and yeah, you're right, PTC finding that kill completely blind is just absolutely unheard of.
PTC doesn't get that kill, the defuse doesn't happen because you got a
100%.
clear line of sight on it. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. We go again.
Oh, we go again, Komodo. I'm going to be battered and bruised, dragged across through the roses and the thorns. But I'm going to come out on top with all of you watching along at home as NAOS gets straight back into it. But LBY Does find 2, maybe just giving enough time for this rotation to come around. Niffy is going to go
Spike
through
planted.
the flank. And it's going to be a tough one here in the 3-on-2.
Definitely so. Can you get an Arcros out here somewhere? Maybe in the cubby of short. Allow QQ God to get up. You spotted PTC.
Plenty of info. Now they just go silent, exactly as you mentioned. QQ God somehow gets 1 onto Merge, and now the
enemy
paranoia
remaining.
goes under hell. QQ God, what is happening? Somehow getting 2. They were at a disadvantage, Komodo. It was a 2-on-4.
I was gonna say they've won those ones before. Remember?
I don't.
You know, 2 versus 3 when they're going in for that retake there, and Niffy and QQ God just getting all of the
Switching
kills.
sides.
He's playing from heaven.
Match point.
How is he isolating 3 1v1s?
I was just
when
about to
somebody
say that.
can literally, PTC can just stay in short. You can have someone stay in hell.
There
You
was
can't
still
really
a
say
dark
graffiti because he
cover.
can step out and get the kill, but you know, that's just a misplay from NAOS and QQ God hitting the shots.
Yeah.
here.
Again, never a world where you find 3 1v1s out of heaven on a retake in overtime.
shouldn't happen.
It just never should happen. Oh, look, as I said, as the eternal optimist Komodo, this is a great demo to review.
100%, but as a pessimist, there is so much that I can
Drone going out.
get angry about.
Little bit of nerd rage for you all.
A little bit. There's a lot for Valden to do here if the A-siders continued to
Oh
be
my
encroached
God.
upon by Sharper.
There.
Zavi's,
He's by himself. He's staying here. He's put himself in graffiti.
what's
He's
info
not leaving.
in mid as well. Off the back of the Arcros, it's completely thwarted Zavi's attempts.
This is calm before the storm at the A site. Timing on the dark cover.
Take a big
Disrespected.
breath with me, chat. It's about to get chaotic. Deep breath in. And a deep
Waiting
breath out.
for Moja.
Kadoom, completely blind, looks to clear the corner. Valden opened up. Kadoom, I think he wants to close here and now. 3 for Kadoom, and it's all on to Zan. There is absolutely nothing he can do with Syrupop on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, the big teddy bear comes